Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to BFA Sports coverage of high school baseball and an opener here in Absecon. We're at Holy Spirit High School, where Mainland, the Mustangs, take on the Spartans of Holy Spirit on BFA. Chris Losey along with Doug Stasic. A couple headlines in this game to start not only the season but also our coverage of high school baseball. Holy Spirit top ranked in the Cape Atlantic and, of course, high up in the coaches' polls as well.
Well, Chris, this one's going to be a battle. There's a bunch of reasons that you see all these scouts and coaches behind us. This place is crowded. It's a 2-year wait in the making, all about to end. And you're right. I mean, the South Jersey baseball coaches poll had just come out, and you have two of the top teams in all the land. So starting out with the higher ranked seed, number 3 at home is Holy Spirit, and number 5 is Mainland. But really the big matchup that everybody's talking about are two guys, and that's number 4 from Mainland in Chase Petty.
Yep.
And number 8 in David Hageman.
And it's a great pitching matchup. We're going to get into that. But, I mean, if you can see behind us, I mean, typically the baseball game, first of all, we're under a tent. And second of all, we've got a nice backdrop. But the backdrop today are all the Major League scouts that are here. And if I'm not mistaken, there are 32 teams in the league, and there's more than 32 scouts here to see Chase Petty, who has hit the clock over 100 miles an hour consistently. As a matter of fact, in his scrimmage against the Prep, 61 pitches, 13 over 100 miles an hour.
Well, it's amazing, and it's something that he's a phenom by all stretch of the imagination, but he's a baseball player through and through. You know, I had 2 parents actually come up to me that aren't even associated with the Mainland Mustang program, and the one thing they said that they love about Chase Petty is the kid's a ball player. So, you know, he's pitching, he's got a fantastic arm, it's electric, but he wants to be in the lineup, he wants to play on the field. He's batting today. We'll go over the lineup when we come back in a few minutes here. But, Chris, for me, the one matchup that I think is going to determine the way this game goes is the battle of the catchers. So you have 2 guys that are going to be empowered and trusted with catch and Petty, and that's in Cole Campbell. Cole Campbell's been doing a real phenomenal job, but, again, not a lot of game action so far because of the time off. And then for Hageman, you got a newcomer in number 44, and, you know, it's Tyler Gross. So those 2 guys, if they can help control the run game, they can keep the ball in front of them, then that's going to be a big difference maker because you got to think this one's going to come down to 1 run.
When would you ever think that the catchers would play an important role in a baseball game? But keep in mind, at this level at high school, that absolutely is the focal point. And for Cole Campbell, I talked to Coach Billy Kern of Mainland before the game, and he said he is a stud, Chris. He handles Chase very well. Because I asked him, you know, point blank, I said, how's your hand feel after that? And he said, it's pretty sore.
Well, rightfully so. And again, you know, when Chase isn't on the mound, he's at second base. So a lot of these guys are used to seeing this ball fired around, but again, you know, that controlling the run game is what's going to be really paramount here, and that's going to be a key indicator of how this one's going to go. I think the other piece for me that I'm really paying attention to is, does the Spartan lineup decide to try to play small ball in this one?
Well, they got to get a guy on base first in order to play small ball, and that's the game plan for Mainland, is to not allow anybody to get on base, especially when you got a guy like Chase 100 miles an hour. I mean, K. The other thing that then comes into play is the pitch count, too.
Oh. Well, you have to work the count. I mean, if you're Holy Spirit, you got to force Petty to throw strikes early, see what he's got, try to get comfortable. And the big battle is going to be trying to get comfortable hitting in counts of your backwards, you know, 0-2, 1-2 counts. That's not very easy to do against a regular pitcher, but when you have a guy that can throw in excess of 100 miles an hour, it's even more frightening. But the reality of it is, Holy Spirit's got to be thinking, we got to get into the bullpen in order for us to be able to put the ball in play consistently today.
That's an excellent point, too, because I think once the game plan, again, is to get into the bullpen, obviously get Chase out of the game, and that pitch count just might do that. So public address here at Holy Spirit.
At this time, I would like to ask everyone
And our national anthem.
rise. Gentlemen, remove your caps. As Holy Spirit Jr., Vanessa DeJean sings the national anthem.
And we welcome you back here to Absecon. That is the huddle of Steve Normain and the Holy Spirit Spartans. They are 1-0 in the season. They opened the season last night with a win against Middle Township. Meanwhile, on the right, you see Billy Kern and the Mainland Mustangs. This is their season opener. So to the starting lineups we go, brought to you by RK Chevrolet of Vineland. And this is the Mainland batting order. Mark Elliott will lead off in center field. Chase Petty, he'll pitch and be the DH. We'll talk about that rule in a second. And bat second. Brody Levin at second base will hit third. The catcher, Cole Campbell, that Doug had mentioned earlier, will bat fourth. Nick Wagner at first base hits fifth. Clayton Sands in right field hits sixth. Sam Wood, the third baseman, will bat seventh. Luke Sharp is the shortstop for Mainland. He'll bat eighth. And batting ninth for the Mustangs, the left fielder is Joe Sheeran, and they will face this young man, David Hageman.
Yeah, Hageman, the West Virginia commit. He's got electric stuff of his own, and if anybody's got a chip on their shoulder, not named Petty, it's that guy right there, number 8. And let's take a look at the defense for the Spartans. That'll back him up, Chris.
Big storyline, too, on that, where because Hageman sees all the scouts, we'll get into that in a second. The infield, Corsi, Egri, Petrosh, and Spina. In the outfield, it's Jaden Shurtell, Trevor Cohen, Shane Solari. The catcher, Tyler Gross for Holy Spirit. And there is, as Doug mentioned, the West Virginia commit David Hageman. Temperature 72 degrees, a gorgeous afternoon here in Atlantic County. Perfect day for high school baseball here on BFA Sports. Glad you're with us, the BFA Sports crew, and high school baseball. Number 1 on the season there, pal.
Man, does that sound absolutely phenomenal. So we are ready to rock. I feel like it's Christmas in April. We missed Christmas in July. We missed Christmas in December even. This is where it all starts. And not a better way than to kick it off with this kind of playoff atmosphere here in Absecon. And Chris, I'm an alum, class of 94.
I tried to keep that out of there, but, you know, it is what it is, and truth be told. And that's a good thing, though. That's a good thing. I mean, you wear your heart on your sleeve. Nothing wrong with that. Because I'll tell you what now. I mean, are you class of what, 94? All right, so
yeah,
I'm a class of 87 in Philadelphia, but I'll tell you how old I am. I umpired Billy Kern in college baseball at LaSalle. So
I don't know that I'd be sharing too much information on that one. You know, you might need a stone tablet to figure out your birth certificate.
Oh, boy.
But,
right.
You know, backing away a little bit here, some pleasantries are exchanged. Still got Hageman warming up. And, again, there's a look at Tyler Gross as he fires it down. Certainly going to be one of the RK Chevrolet keys to this game. But we are ready to play ball here at Absecon.
And I think you already mentioned those keys to the game, too. I think, again, paramount for Holy Spirit, definitely. Get into the Mainland bullpen, maybe a little small ball. And for Mainland, it's like, I guess, business as usual, and then see what happens when you're at bat because you put it in the hands of Chase Petty.
Well, starting this one right off, you got to understand Hageman actually works out at the Baseball Performance Center. He's very familiar with this Mustang lineup, as are the Mustangs with him. And the first one is one of his friendly, I'll call them frenemies today, and that's Mark Elliott.
I like that. I knew you would throw that one in there. So the first pitch of the ball game from Hageman is a called strike. Bob Willman behind the plate calling the balls and strikes. And it is John Dubel on the bases this afternoon from the Atlantic County Umpiring Association. So we have a 1-strike count right away to Mark Elliott on his way to possibly Westchester. PSAC School's looking at him, and Hageman pours another one in there, and it's 0-2.
I was wondering if you might have a radar gun I could use. I don't know if there's one in the house.
Look behind right there in that shot. No. Here's an 0-2 coming to Elliott. Got a piece of that. Stays alive. Again, pitch count paramount. Absolutely paramount. As we look at the Mike Frankel over there with the camera.
Hey, there's our buddy Mike Frankel shooting for the Jersey Sports Zone today.
I don't know if you wanted to mention the other people, but that's fine.
That's all right. We're going to be joined by a couple. We got quite the media presence, including Josh Friedman, the Courier Post. It's just to our 3 o'clock here.
The 0-2, curveball, and that's 1 out. Called strike 3 on Elliott. First strikeout of the game for Hageman.
Well, you can't blame Mainland for trying to see what Hageman's got. You could think that there could be some jitters going on, especially with this crowd and this atmosphere. So why not make him throw a few? But credit to Hageman, pay off, and he gets him looking.
So one aspect of Chase Petty's game that is probably not as notable is his hitting, and he's batting second. He's up there now against Hageman. First pitch to him. Fastball is just down low. 1 ball, no strikes. Just underway here this afternoon at Holy Spirit. Did I mention it's a picture-perfect day?
Oh, you're not kidding. More ways than one.
That ball is smoked fair down the line, and Petty is going to turn it first, and he'll hold there.
Well, good shot right out of the gate for Chase Petty. We talked about his aggression and what he can do with the bat as much as he can swing it. Certainly made it work there.
So with one out, that'll bring up the second baseman, Brody Levin. And we're going to get into the backgrounds of these kids, too, because, I mean, you're well involved in baseball in this area, particularly with kids at this level and below. So you're familiar with a lot of them. So what do you know about Brody Levin?
Brody Levin is a demon with the bat. That's one of the biggest things that I can tell you right out of the gate. He's going to be a guy knowing that sometimes he has to change it up. He's a 3-hole hitter, but right now in this type of game, every runner is going to certainly count. Wouldn't surprise me here is that if he try to get pushed away on the pitches, he's going to go right out to right field with it.
And right away, you've got Petty putting on the runner's mitten. So he'll lead off first. He had a single, 1 on and 1 out for the Mustangs here in the top of the first. And that curveball is over for a strike, so it starts off Levin. Cole Campbell is on deck, the catcher, in the cleanup spot.
Take a look side by side. As you can see, Petty trying to stretch out a lead, work Hageman a little bit.
Held by the first baseman of the Spartans.
And he does go back.
Ethan Corsi, who just tripped over the grass. That could be dangerous, that little cut out there.
Yeah, well, you're dealing with a high school field. These guys aren't playing pro ball just yet.
But this is in great shape, this field.
Beautiful facility. Holy Spirit, he did it just a few seasons ago.
1 strike pitch, a check swing. He didn't go. Ball and a strike to Levin. Back to the split screen. Petty's lead on the right. And our center field camera on the left. And it's a 1-1 coming to Levin. Petty breaks. Gross's throw is too high, and a stolen base for Chase. And right away, the Mustangs have a runner in scoring position with 1 out. Pitch, by the way, I believe was a ball.
Yeah, Mustangs, nothing wrong with being aggressive here. Got to take advantage every time you get a runner on the field. And so now Petty running out of the scorer's position. 2 strikes, though.
That would mean it wasn't a ball, it was a strike. And calling time right away is Tyler Gross to go out and talk to Hageman.
Yeah, good opportunity here. Talk to him. I mean, it's certainly early in the game, but he wants to let him know. Obviously, just relax.
Oh, he's ahead of the count.
As Aaron Rodgers would say.
Yeah.
Just relax.
Did you watch him do Jeopardy yet? I have not.
I have not either.
I'm staying away from it, actually. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out. Mustangs threatening here in the top of the first. There is Chase Petty. He singled and then stole second. That's where he is right now. And it's a 1-2. Curve ball just misses. 2-2.
Bit blustery here early on.
Yeah, you can see the jerseys flapping a little bit. Time called at the plate.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of chess matches here trying to make the pitchers uncomfortable by changing up tempo.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Brody Levin, the Mustang second baseman. Remember, this is their first game of the season, right out of the chute. That pitch is outside. Count runs full. 3-2 with Petty at second and 1 out here. Top of the first, BFA Sports coverage of high school baseball. Chris Losey, Doug Stasic, who took a back seat from the executive producer chair. Oh, am I honored.
Well, we got Ryan Schumacher flying the plane today, boys.
3-2 pitch is sent to deep left field. Back, and hey, it's gone.
Wow. Talk about a way to start the game, and he might have set a record of running the bases. Look how fast. My word, and a celebration about to ensue at this plate.
Brody Levin, a 2-run home run, and it gives the Mustangs an early 2-0 lead here.
Well, curious to see what was going to happen when he fell down and 1-2 in the count, stayed comfortable, took that 2-2 offering and sat on that fastball, and man, did he get a hold of it. Somewhere Eddie Charlton from the BPC is perplexed as he sees one of his hitters take one of his pitcher's yard.
A wise man once said, if a 2-2 pitch is a curveball, the 3-2 pitch is a fastball, especially at this level. And that'll bring up Cole Campbell. We talked about him, the catcher. He has an awesome responsibility to handle Chase Petty and the 100-mile-an-hour fastball that he owns. But here he is in the cleanup spot with 1 out and 2 runs in for the Mustangs.
Yeah, and again, you're going to see Hageman take a deep breath, settle right back in, get right back after it. Kid has pitched in some big-time games throughout his summer career, and now he's going to settle right back in.
What were some of those games he pitched in?
Well,
Especially summers. I mean, perfect game.
Yeah.
Those are some really high-profile games, too.
Yeah,
Not to this degree of what we got behind us today. But foul down the third base line. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 runs in early on for Mainland on a home run by Brody Levin. Billy wasn't kidding when he said that he could swing the bat, too.
Absolutely put a charge into that ball.
Ball and a strike with 1 out. You know, the scouts may be looking at other kids, too.
Well, that's what you got to look at the opportunity as.
Yeah.
You know, the reality is, hey, if they're here, why not me?
That curveball's high, 2-1. Absolutely. And back to Hageman, you know, because they're here obviously to see the other kid. You know, that I guess that would
Now, there's actually plenty of pro interest in David Hageman as well.
that fastball is way up high.
I mean, you look at this frame that he has and some of the spots that he's been in. You know, he came over, transferred from Cedar Creek. He was their #1 there all last year, and credit to him. You know, he wanted a bit more of a challenge from an academic standpoint, but he also knew he was going to go pitch and be the #1 team for a team that's going to play a loaded schedule. This kid wants to compete. He wants to play against the best.
That is set in the air to left field as well.
That ball's going way back.
Solari is back, and this one is gone. Back to back, the Mustangs go, and it's now 3-0.
This is a startling start, but the Mustangs got to give them credit. They came out aggressive with the bats, finding the ball in the zone, and man, did he get under that one. That ball was hit a quarter mile up in the air.
Mainland with a 3 spot here in the first. They're not done. There's only 1 out. First baseman Nick Wagner now comes to the plate, the left-hander. And that'll prompt a visit from the Holy Spirit dugout.
Well, hey, rightfully so. I mean, you're coming out here against a powder keg lineup. You walk out with back-to-back jacks, and it's got to settle them down. Still very early in this game, but in a game they know who they're going to be trying to hit against. Just trying to settle down, get back out of the inning, got 1 out, and time to go back to play ball.
Back-to-back jacks. You're a poet and you don't even know it.
Yeah.
That's good stuff there. 3 runs across for the Mustangs on back-to-back, as Doug said. Home runs, a 2-run shot by Brody Levin and Cole Campbell with a solo bomb. Both to left. Here's Nick Wagner. Inside. And, you know, with each ball, that Mainland dugout gets livelier and livelier, huh?
How can they not? After the start that no one expected, except for the guys in the dugout, they got a lot to talk about and cheer on right now.
It's a 1-0. And did that hit Campbell? It did not. Or Wagner, rather. So it's now 2-0. Clayton Sands is on deck, right fielder. 2-0. 3-0 is the score. The long ball from Mainland in the first inning gives them the early lead. And a 2-0 pitch to Wagner, that curve ball he missed. 2 balls and a strike.
Well, Mainland needed to jump on and do some damage early because we do have 3 first-time varsity starters coming up at the bottom of this lineup.
That's in the dirt. It's 3-1. And I'll tell you right now, and this is something that you had talked about at the top, Tyler Gross is going to be very busy. You can see already. They're running on him, and Hageman is bouncing a couple up there.
Yeah, well, Hageman now, his fastball has gotten hit a couple times, so trying to change it up. Coach goes out, adjusts the strategy. Now he's going to go hammer what is a very lethal breaking ball.
Here comes a 3-1. Fastball is there at the top of the zone, and it's a full count to Nick Wagner, the Mustang first baseman. 1 out in the top of the first. Mainland with 3, 2 home runs. A 2-run shot by Brody Levin and a solo from Cole Campbell in almost the exact same spot in left field. Here's the 3-2. Curve ball, and it misses up high. Wagner walks, and that'll bring up Clayton Sands, the right fielder.
Tough pitch to take there, but with a 3-0 lead, why not try to keep the rally going and fight your way on base? He wasn't happy about that pitch. He's got guys to back him up, and he makes his way to first.
Not much of an argument from the Holy Spirit side, too. The pitch was up. So Mainland back on the bases. Nick Wagner is at first. He just walked. Clayton Sands, the right fielder.
Yeah, they need a break. They need a ball in the dirt right here so they can try to turn two, get out of this inning.
Hageman, fastball is outside, and he's now over 15 pitches already in the top of the first inning. This is not the start you wanted, obviously, if you're Stephen Romaine.
It's not, but something to think about, Chris, is the guy that has the most pressure on him is still in the Mainland dugout. He's got to come out here, and he's got to perform with a lot of eyes on him.
That's a good slider there by Hageman. Nice pitch. 1-1.
So Coach Steve Romaine is saying one pitch away, right? He's saying one pitch away, which means let's turn the double play. Let's get back into it, put the bats in our hand, and go to work. Again, 3 runs. We got a lot of baseball to play.
And a throw back over. Wagner is back. Windy, but still warm.
Yeah, we'll take this every day of the week.
That's way outside. And it's 2-1. Sam Wood is on deck for the Mustangs, and as Doug mentioned, one of the 3 first-time starters in their high school careers. Talking about Sam Wood, the third baseman, Luke Sharp, the shortstop, and Joe Sheeran, the left fielder. Here we've got a 2-1 count on Clayton Sands. With one on, runner breaks. Gross has got a good throw, but he's on the wrong side of the bag, and a stolen base for Wagner. And he's in scoring position with 1 out. And the pitch was a ball at the plate. So that runs the count to 3-1 on Sands.
No surprise. 1 out, great opportunity. You want to break it up, take away the double play. Smart base running, good call by Coach Kern and Coach Edwards.
A 3-1 to Sands, and that misses high. And now we've got first and second with 1 out, and here is Sam Wood, the third baseman, and I wonder if that was a deliberate, intentional, unintentional right there to get first base occupied.
Well, it could be, because knowing that they have 3 first-time starters who are coming up here in the order, and I'm sure that this isn't your average first-time start, that's for sure. Looking around with all these scouts and radar guns, and Coach Normaine playing a little bit of chess here and trying to put the pressure on the youngins.
Sorry if that got into the shot, but that's my man Bob Willman on the plate.
That's perfectly fine, pal.
First and second with 1 out. And here is Sam Wood. First ever, and he misses the first one, first ever high school at bat as a starter.
Well, and that's what 2021 is going to be about. There's a lot of guys that we don't even know who they are or what they can do because they lost the entire year last year, which would have been their debut.
That's way up. And you can see Hageman pointing to himself like that was on me. And you wonder if, you serve up 2 long balls early on, it's got to damage your psyche a little bit, huh, Doug?
It does, but again, he's pitched in some really big spots, so it's just 1 inning. No one's going to worry about this inning once they get back in the dugout. And that's
high heat.
And that's the mentality you have to have. I mean, you're going to go play Big Ten baseball at West Virginia. You're going to get the ball on the weekends. This is going to happen every weekend.
Here it's 1-2. Top of the first, you see the score, 3-0. 2 on and 1 out. Did he go? He did not, said Bob Willman. 2-2.
It doesn't look like they're asking for help either. Nothing to ask for help, really.
I agree with you. And that's one of the points of emphasis, too, Doug. It's, they want help, just get it.
Yeah.
Why slow the game down? What does it take to say, hey, John, did he go? But they didn't ask for it. Here's a 2-2. Curveball right there.
Oh, boy. That's vintage Hageman.
So Sam Wood, welcome to the starting lineup. Caught looking, and that's 2 on and 2 out now for Luke Sharp, the shortstop. Now Hageman can see his way out of this one. 2 on and 2 out for the Mustangs. Top of the first. Way up high. He's missing high an awful lot with the fastball, Doug. You noticing that?
Yeah, well, at this point, he's going to try to make him chase up out of the zone, especially where he's at in the lineup. You got the 8-hitter, first-time starter. You're not going to give him any cherries.
Now the 1-0. That's that slider right there, 1-1.
It's got nice movement on it. I mean, coming right in on the hands on a right-handed hitter from a right-handed pitcher, that is next-level stuff.
We like to say that pitch makes a left turn. Here's the 1-1 coming. There it is again, and it's it on the ground to first Corsi. He's going to need Hageman, who covers and makes the play, and that will retire the side. 3 for the Mustangs by way of long ball. 2 home runs in the top of the first, and the Spartans will come to bat when we come back. 3-0 Mainland here on BFA. Welcome back to Absecon and Holy Spirit, a 3-spot for Mainland to start in the top of the first with the long ball, and now Holy Spirit will bat, and they will face for the first time Chase Petty, and that's that lineup that will be facing Chase. C.J. Eggery will lead off, the second baseman, Jaden Shurtell in right field, Trevor Cohen at center, Shane Solari, who watched 2 home run balls go over his head, Stephen Petrosh at short, Ryan Spina, Ethan Corsi, the first baseman, hitting 7th, Vince Spina is the designated hitter, and Tyler Gross is the catcher. So we have Spina batting for Hageman, and they face Chase Petty. As good as advertised, 100 miles an hour. He hit it again 13 times.
Well, there's not
and
much.
You know what? Go ahead.
Not much to say. This guy is as advertised. And he's got a good defense to back him up. We know what they can do with the sticks.
Now, I was just going to say, it's interesting because this is going to be important to see how he handles now pitching with a lead early on. First game of the season. All he did was he threw in a scrimmage. And the defense behind him, Nick Wagner is at first. Brody Levin, 2-run home run. Luke Sharp, Sam Wood in the outfield. Clayton Sands, Mark Elliott, and Joe Sheeran. And then Cole Campbell, who also went deep in the first inning. And we have a change already. As Billy Kern is telling us, we've got a change in the lineup. It looks like Alex Ajigian, number 24, is into the game for Nick Wagner at first base. We don't know what happened there, but we'll figure it out. I watched him walk back to the dugout. So hopefully we can get status on Nick Wagner. C.J. Eggery, first one to face Chase Petty. And if this were a Super Bowl, we'd have the flash bulbs popping, but as it stands right now, it's just going to be your basic first pitch of the game from Chase Petty. Outside with cameras popping behind us. 1 ball, no strikes. So for Holy Spirit, I think the message is simple here. Like you said at the top, small ball. Try to get something going with guys on base, and it starts with getting guys on base. Eggery misses that one.
Yeah, healthy hack there. We'll end up getting some readings around us for those that might actually share.
Figure it out. Slider just missed. 2-1. He has not only the fastball, but he's got a 4-seamer, he's got a 2-seamer, and he has that slider to start. 2-1 to Eggery. Missed that. 3-1. And I had said also, we talked about it, that how important Cole Campbell is in the equation too. You know, it's an awesome responsibility to handle a pitcher at the high school level throwing 3 digits.
And Campbell has matured quite quickly. These guys work out together in the offseason so they can get adjusted, and he does a real nice job sticking that frame. And Petty so far at 99 miles an hour.
The 3-1.
Oof.
Missed inside, ball 4. Egri walks. Not a good start for Petty and the Mustangs with a 3-0 lead, but a good one for the Spartans as their leadoff man is on.
Well, you knew what they had to do now, right? They're down 3-0, facing a dominant hitter or a dominant pitcher the way that they are. You got to try to work the count and put the pressure on him. He's got a big audience that he's trying to get relaxed in front of, but you'll see Petty. He's done this a bunch of times. Give him about 2 hitters, and you're going to see the ice just start to flow through to the kid's veins.
Jaden Shurtell at the plate, the right fielder, and I would defer to you because of your knowledge being the alum here, but he's on the football squad, isn't he?
Yeah, he is on the football squad. He was a transfer from St. Joe's, and he's on his way to UMBC down in Baltimore, Maryland. But again, these are guys that hit against Petty at the VPC. So he's not really – this isn't the first time that he's seeing this stuff, so it'll be real interesting. But I can tell you, Shurtell is a guy can change the game with a swing.
And how important is that, though, that they have seen him before, that they can time him?
Well, from the batter standpoint, you have to be able to trust that a guy that has that kind of velocity has control, right? These guys know that he has control. They're comfortable staying in that zone. So that dynamic, the first time you see him jumping out of the box, that's out the window.
2 strikes to Shurtell. Way up high. 1-2.
Still 97 miles an hour, so he's sitting between 97 and 99.
We will let you know when he hits the triple digit. Meanwhile, it's going to be a 1-2 to Shurtell. Runner off, pitch is high. Campbell's throw is there, but late. Safe call by John Dubel, and a stolen base for Egri.
This is the way that the Spartans are going to fight their way back into the game. You have to challenge the catcher when you have runners on. That was one heck of a throw by Campbell.
I think Billy Kern wants to know where the pitch was. He stepped out of the dugout to ask by Wilman where the pitch was.
Well,
Looked inside here.
Listen.
2-2. That's down, and a full count. Now Petty in danger of walking the first 2 batters that he has seen.
And Chris, let's give the ump credit. You don't see a bunch of high school kids throwing 100 miles an hour every day, so you know you're going to take a little bit of time of your own to kind of adjust.
Well, the 3-2 down the middle, and it's hit the short. Throw from Sharp in time, moves the runner to third, and with 1 out, it'll bring up the center fielder Trevor Cohen.
Well, a good, important out. Obviously, with that kind of velo, kept it on the ground. But now you got a runner in scoring position. This is a very important run for Holy Spirit.
The walk-up, you know it's a big game, right? When you got the walk-up music.
Oh, yeah.
Trevor Cohen, the center fielder. Egri at third and 1 down. 2. That's filthy. I mean, I get what you're saying, Doug, but that's still cheese.
Oh, yeah.
0-1.
Oh, there's a poke.
In the left center field. That's deep. That's going to split the gap. Up against the fence. Egri scores. Cohen is coming to third. There's a throw. There's a play. And he's safe.
In there. Talk about coming up clutch. This is the battle that we were expecting. Had no fear. Again, another guy working out against dudes that throw high velo, Chase being one of them. This is like one of those games that in the bar 10 years down the road, all these guys are going to remember. They really are. They're going to be like, remember when?
I like it. I like it. The cleanup batter for the Spartans, the left fielder, Shane Solari. A triple by Trevor Cohen.
So in a pitcher's duel, we've seen 2 home runs and a triple in the first inning.
Fastball is hit to the right side. That is going to score a run. And that is what you talk about small ball. As Levin makes the play at first, and they're now 2 outs,
You got to manufacture your runs.
and the base is empty. RBI single for Solari, and just like that, it's 3-2. This is the shortstop, Stephen Petrosh, and you had a little something about him and his family.
Yeah, in the family business. Shout out to Petrosh's Big Top.
Saw the truck parked next to mine. I said, good, then you keep it there, and I'll probably be safe. And then he said, I had a kid I had to go send to the JV field. I'll be right back. Save my spot. Cutter's right there.
Yeah, Petrosh has been a 4-year stud here at Holy Spirit. This is senior send-off. Definitely missed seeing him last year.
A 3-2.
Oh,
I'm sorry, an 0-2, and a cutter, and a strikeout. But Holy Spirit responds. They get 2 in the bottom of the first. We're going to the second. 3-2 Mainland here on BFA. Three 3-2 as we go to the second inning in this monster matchup here between two of the powerhouses in South Jersey, Mainland and Holy Spirit. Bottom of the order for Mainland to start the second, Joe Sheeran, the left fielder, then the top, Mark Elliott, and then Chase Petty. Joe Sheeran, Doug, what do you know about him?
So Joe Sheeran making his varsity debut for the Mainland Mustangs, but his father, John, one of my classmates at Holy Spirit, was a standout center fielder for the Spartans and a college baseball player in his own right. So I know you got a proud papa here, but he's kind of coming back to the old neighborhood, and his kid's wearing green.
Class of 94 as well?
No, 93. Year ahead.
Ah. Then how's he a classmate? I'm just kidding.
He was the guy that drove me to school every day for the better part of 3
go.
years. We grew up together. It was great to see his dad, who was my first baseball coach ever before the game.
Now that's a nugget. Do you know where he played in college?
Down in Carolina. He was.
That's good baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, if you mention any college down there, it's pretty good baseball.
There is.
Hageman in his second inning of work. 36 pitches in the first, thanks to Josh Friedman, that little nugget. That's bounced to third. Spina comes up with it. Low throw. Corsi able to make the catch. At the bag, one down.
A nice play there by Corsi with the big stretch, but credit to Sheeran. Wasn't gonna wait. Be aggressive, put the ball in play. Good things will happen, but great defensive play there by the Spartans. And again, Hageman, 1 inning in. Now he's settled down. Second time through the order. What did he learn?
Pitch to contact, maybe, right? Top of the order, Mark Elliott. Called out on strikes. His first at bat last inning. Time called. Not sure if we talked about it with all the hype or maybe it bears repeating, but Mark Elliott pursued by PSAC schools, including Westchester. And Barton College. And Barton College, of course, of Keith Gorman's new home.
Keith Gorman, former head coach here at Holy Spirit and athletic director.
Then he went to Cumberland County, won a national championship.
I can't believe that Mark Elliott is still not committed. I mean, he is an absolute bona fide stud of a baseball player.
Now, are you keeping track on this? I think that the NCAA has laxed a little bit some of those restrictions about transfers and commits and when you have to, or am I off base on that?
No, they're actually starting to roll out some new rules. Baseball's always slow, though, with them. But for right now, basketball and football is going to be able to transfer one time for no reason or any reason of your own.
And without the penalty. And without the penalty. Yeah.
So baseball will follow suit probably 5 years from now.
1 ball, 1 strike to the center fielder, Elliott. Fastball right there. 1-2.
Want to give a quick shout out to our buddy Matt Ulmer. So I'm not sure if he's actually in New Jersey or somewhere down in Florida right now, but we're in his territory, usually doing a lot of basketball and football games here for Holy Spirit. So shout out to Matt Ulmer. Thanks for tuning in.
That's the real him too, right?
It is.
Okay. That 1-2, and that hits Elliott, and he's aboard. So with 1 out, Mustangs have a runner, and Chase Petty up, and he singled in his first at-bat last inning. Time and time again, when your offense responds and then you go back out onto the field, it's the pitcher's responsibility to win that inning. Now, keep in mind, this is a new inning, but Hageman has got to be able to shut the door here. If nothing else, at least for momentum.
Yeah, this time through the lineup is going to be important for his mindset.
Gross got in front of it, but it's still going to allow Elliott to advance. The wild pitch by Hageman.
That breaking pitch had teeth in it. That is an absolute dirty put-out pitch. He threw it to Petty early in this at-bat, realizing that Chase got him for a single his first go-round.
And I bet you that hurts, too.
Doesn't feel good. But Gross, you know, the newest catcher here at Holy Spirit, a lot of tradition. Is Little Yachty.
Little Yachty,
Justin Jimenez, now down at Frostburg University.
1 on and 1 out. Curveball is high.
Prior to him, Matt Rivera.
Right.
So Matt Rivera was a stud of a baseball player. Was at LaSalle for a period of time, and now he's trying to advance in his career as he was recovering from an injury.
You are a wealth of information.
My wife doesn't agree with that, Chris. I'm going to take you home and settle some arguments.
I saw the lovely Mrs. Stasic. Missy said something about, okay, I'm out of here.
Yeah. She drove an hour to bring us a couple pieces of equipment that I forgot.
Best. Talking about Woodbine? Here's the 2-0. That's in there. 2-1 to Petty.
Again, Petty Hageman work out together, pitch together the whole entire offseason, hit against one another. This is very familiar. This is like a backyard brawl.
Familiarity breeds contempt, right? Here's the 2-2. It's popped up on the right side, shallow, in right field. Chertel with the play. That's 2 outs. And no advance by Elliott.
So far, this is the inning that Hageman and the Spartans were looking for. Again, check your blood pressure like it's CBS. You don't even have to throw a quarter in it. Just, take it easy.
You know what?
Go back to business.
Go to CBS, send them the tape, and say, okay, let's go. And let's cough it up. 1 on and 2 out, and Brody Levin need a 2-run home run last inning to left field. That's Elliott at second on the right. Here comes the pitch. Slider misses high. Or maybe it was his cutter, but you can see it if you're watching it live. You can see how it actually does cut as opposed to slide.
This is a nerve-wracking at-bat. Anytime you hit a home run, then you got to jump in the box after the fact. When I was coaching, I would sometimes force kids to actually square and bunt. Take a pitch, square to bunt, settle it down. This is tough, but Levin's a monster, so it wouldn't surprise me he rips one down the left field line again.
Whew. The 1-0, and that was a swing by Levin to make it 5-2, and he missed it.
Man.
Ball and a strike. Cole Campbell on deck. He was the second half of the back-to-back in the first inning with a solo home run. 1 on, 2 out, the 1-1. That had some heat on it, missed upstairs.
That'll make you uncomfortable. Levin taking a bit of a deep breath with that high and inside cheese.
2-1. It's funny because when I did that little strike thing in 2006 in the minors, and most of the catchers didn't speak English. There you go. 2-1 pitch. Too high. 3-1. They never said cheese, so I'd ask the catchers, you know, and as the pitchers would come in, they'd say, ¿Qué pasa? What we got? Queso caliente. 2-1. It's now 3-1.
Well, it's good to know you know at least 3 words in Spanish, Chris.
Oh, hey, we're going to Riviera Maya on our honeymoon, so.
Oh, nice.
You know. 3-1 to Levin, right down the middle. Full count with 2 outs, and Mark Elliott at second. He walked and then stole second.
Yeah, this is be interesting to see how aggressive they are with the runner at third.
It's a big pitch here.
Second.
Here it comes. Runner
goes.
breaks. Ball 4. Elliott steals third. So the Mustangs now have first and third with 2 outs, and Cole Campbell at the bat. Again, Campbell with a solo home run following Brody Levin's 2-run home run in his only at bat thus far, which happened to be last inning.
Yeah.
Here's a look at Tyler Gross. What's the play you think Steve Normain wants? I would be honest with you in this case. I think I would just go after the batter here.
I think you have to go after the batter here, but if you're Mainland, you have to at least give them something to think about because you're going to have instincts.
Sure.
You know, you're.
So now this is the part of the game where, as an umpire, your antenna's got to be up with the time because usually that runner right there who steals second, that was Levin, will purposely get himself into a rundown, and then you send the guy from third home. You're familiar with that, right?
Oh, yeah. Called it more than a few times in my own coaching days.
Right.
It's just, in this situation, there's no way that Coach Normain is letting anybody throw that ball anywhere other than home.
I agree. So, I mean, you saw Hegeman cut it off, and I think that was the sign that Gross gave him.
Yeah.
Pitch was upstairs. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Now the board has a strike. So I think we're going to go to strike then.
That's what the board says, I guess.
Well, we'll see what Bob says after this count. That's right there. Slide piece from Hegeman, and it's either 1-1 or 0-2.
It looks like 0-2 is what they're sticking with on the board.
Ask Bob what the count is. He'll tell you. Did you see him walk over here?
Yeah.
Can't escape it. I'm sorry, Doug. The 0-2. That's inside.
You see the reaction from Campbell? It wasn't a reaction of fear. I think he was like, I could have maybe got the corner, and Hegeman thought so.
Well,
this is great, man.
You like this? You having fun?
This is
like
Riviera Maya for me. Right
tell the boss. It's a 1-2. Oh, struck him out. Big K for Hegeman. Ends the threat. Mustangs don't score. We're going to the bottom of the second. 3-2 Mainland. Big contest here on BFA. Second here at Holy Spirit. And it'll be for the Spartans, Spina, Corsi, and Spina, or as they like to say, 6, 7, and 8. And the second inning of work for Chase Petty. There we are. And we have to do our homework, actually. The boss might be watching.
Yeah, he's not far away.
Chris Losey, Doug Stasic here with you live on VFA, and a great broadcast and a great game that we thought we were going to get on the other side, and usually that's what happens. Great defensive struggle today, boys, and it was a 44-42 game. So
yeah, that's why
like
Vegas makes a lot of money and builds real pretty buildings, because just when you think you know what's going on, the old 1-2 slider comes, and you don't even have a shot at swinging at it. But hey, we wanted this one to be entertaining. We saw what happened with Hegeman after the first inning. He got hit a little bit. Petty gave up a couple. Now you're going to see him kind of settle in. Remember what I said the last inning. Second inning, ice will start to pump through this kid's veins.
And Ryan Spina, the third baseman, sees a pitch down the middle, and as we turn, do we have a number on that? 96 with that fastball. One strike to Spina. That's up high. I'll tell you, I don't care who you are. When you see a Chase Petty fastball and it's coming close to your noggin, care what it is, you're out of there.
Well, the thing is, he's got late life, right? And late life is what happens the last 12 to 16 inches the ball travels, and this thing moves. I mean, our center field shot is dynamic, but you just even can't appreciate how much that ball is running late.
That pitch just missed. 2-1. Fouled at the plate. And a 2-2 count. Ryan Spina.
I'm wondering how that fell off the shin guard of that umpire as Cole Campbell does the courtesy jog out to the mound.
Bob Willman will stand there if a bullet hits him. We've done games together for 23, 24 years. We did an NJAC playoff game where he almost lost a hand and he stayed in the game. Oof. Here's the 2-2. Oh, it just missed. And Cole Campbell wants to know where it missed, but Bob must have had it outside.
Ryan Spina holding it down over at third base. His older brother, Pat, recent graduate, year before last at Holy Spirit. Him and his brother, Vince, now going to work.
Ooh, did that hit him or did he go?
Oh.
Now, they're going to check it because I think
Did he swing?
He did, but they're going to see if he went far enough, and they said he did.
And he's calling a strike.
Yeah, absolutely. So the question was whether or not he went through, and that's an accurate call there by John Double down the baseline because he definitely did offer at it. And now they'll check Ryan Spina, but he's a strikeout victim, and Steve Normain wants to know what happened there. And it's, I think right there, Doug, the explanation is really simple. He went through the zone. Ball hit him. It's dead.
Yeah, I mean, if he offered, it doesn't matter what he thinks. He offered.
Yep. This conversation shouldn't take this long, actually. So.
Well, Normain, though, he was an all-star on the debate team, so maybe he's got an opportunity here to win an argument.
You are up 2-1 in Nuggets, by the way. Well done. And that'll bring up Ethan Corsi, the first baseman. Made a really nice play on the Spina throw over across the diamond last half. That's fouled away. 97 on that fastball. You know what we should do? We should calibrate between innings and make sure all the scouts have the same number, because I wonder if they have the same number. Who are we relying on anyway?
It's pretty close. It's pretty close.
0-1 to Corsi. He's down the middle. 97 there.
I'll tell you, as good as our shots are from center field, if you want some fantastic still images of this game, you got to check out our buddy Dave O'Sullivan, Sully, Glory Days Magazine. Absolutely fantastic, man. He's going to go on, have an unbelievable gallery of all these shots. You can go right on his website, Glory Days Magazine, print them out, order them. Dude, phenomenal keepsakes, basement wall worthy. I'll just leave it at that.
What are the chances that he's going to get another plug if you don't take a picture of us? It's no balls and 2 strikes to Corsi. And that is filthy. Absolutely dirty. It's a called strike 3. That's 4 Ks early on for Chase and 2 outs here in the second. And I would say that Hegeman settled down in the second and Petty settled down in the second. You're getting your rhythm going on there. This is the designated hitter, Vince Spina.
I feel like if you look at actually Petty's Mainland uniform, you remember that movie Hardball with
Absolutely.
the kids with Keanu Reeves?
Absolutely.
They had the same unis.
To short, this is going to be a tough play, though, for Sharp, and he makes it. And the inning is over. 1, 2, 3 go the Mustangs in the second. We're going to the top of the third here on BFA. It's 3-2 Mainland. Quite an atmosphere here in Absecon and Holy Spirit High School. The Spartans and the Mustangs. And early on, it's a 3-2 lead for Billy Kern's Mustangs. Chris Losey, Doug Stasic, BFA Sports Crew here on a little windy but beautiful mid-April afternoon. Or can we say late April? We're in 20 now. So what would you say that would be? Late? Mid to late?
Yeah, we're in
mid to late.
Mid to late, sure. Why not?
Mid to late. And you're
three quarters of a month.
You're looking at David Hageman in his third inning of work, the West Virginia recruit.
Going to be getting YouTube copyright claims with all this fantastic music that plays as we come back on air, but that's okay.
Yeah, you know what they'll do, right? They kill the audio and then they bring it back. Nah. You must be on their radar, dude.
Yeah, well, it is what it is, but anything for the kids. I will do my own shameless plug, though. For those of you local businesses out there, we got quite the baseball schedule coming up, especially coming up this weekend, Coaches versus Cancer. We will be at Mainland High School in Summers Point. If you're looking to promote and advertise your business, hit us up at bfalivestream.com or on Twitter at TWIBaseballSJ for more info. Happy to promote local businesses that help promote student-athletes here in South Jersey.
Well done. The fifth spot, Alex Ajigian into the game for Nick Wagner. That change was made by Billy Kern in the first, so you're looking at him, left-hander. Took over at first base, and first pitch from Hageman is fouled back.
Yeah, great opportunity here for Alex. He's one of those kids that I don't know a lot about. You know, we missed out on that season last year. So
what did Bob Bucher say? I'm sure he did a heck of a job.
His number is being called. And, you know, this is going to be a guy that could be part of the big tail in this must-see matchup.
Like must-see TV.
Oh, yeah.
Missed that. 0-2. Clayton Sands on deck. 3-2 Mainland. Third inning baseball here on BFA from Absecon. Way upstairs, and we don't have a gun on him, right? Yeah, let's put a gun on him too, because he's bringing it up there pretty well.
Yeah, Hageman's going to get loose here. You know, now he's in his third inning of play. His arm starts to stretch out a little bit. He's feeling it. You know, he's grooving right now.
It's a 1-2. Hitting the air, foul. Out of play.
84. Sitting there.
Well, it wasn't a fastball, though.
It was not. thing I'm really liking about Hageman and now getting into this third inning is he's being more repetitive with his tempo, so you can tell he's a little bit more comfortable.
That was Gross doing the Benito Santiago stance, for those of you that remember him, and that pitch winds up hitting Ajigian. And he's on to lead off the third with a hit by pitch, and Clayton Sands will come up.
Well, it certainly got some bite, and we've seen it now a couple times. Trying to see if I can get in contact. I'm sure he's probably watching on his phone too. Our buddy Eddie Charlton, somewhere right around here.
Clayton Sands. Go for it. I mean, you've got a whole lot of people, and we have a third headset too, right?
Yeah, well, gonna communicated with Josh Friedman earlier. He may be joining us.
Oh, great block by Gross, but still an advance by Ajijian. So up to second goes Alex on the wild pitch. That is the third wild pitch Hageman threw thus far this afternoon.
Yeah, and again, you know, there's a fine line between a wild pitch and a nasty slider, and he's got a little bit of both. I mean, the slider is nasty. Challenge is when you're a catcher and you're just, this is really the first live game action that you're actually doing this in, it's an adjustment, you know, and sometimes the catcher adjustment is you got to move up closer to the plate. I don't see Gross doing that just yet. It might be something Normaine talks about, but you got to start to cut that distance.
Spoken like a true catching instructor. Did you have like an offspring that caught?
I did. My youngest graduate of St. Augustine Prep. Spent many of moons catching guys with high velocity and nasty breaking pitches.
That gets away. And just like that, Ajijian goes up to third. And more importantly, it's a 2-0 count.
Yeah, and again, this is a tough assignment because it's so early in the season. You know, if this game happens a couple weeks down the road, you get a couple games together underneath your belt, probably a little bit of a different animal. Again, Hegman transferred, coming in from a different school. Gross, just getting his first start from a varsity standpoint this year.
There's Ajijian at third from our third base camera, and a 2-0 count on Clayton Sands. It's a hit by pitch, 2 wild pitches later, and that pitch is a strike at the top of the zone. 2-1. Oh, I love when I hear that both ways. See, you know, our vantage point here right behind the plate, we're closer to the mainland side. I'll put my hand up so you can see where we are. There we are right there, right next to Hegeman's chest and the glove. See it? That's us.
Wow, I feel like we need a booster seat like it's Thanksgiving at the kids' table.
Thanks. Found how to play, and it's 2-2. Oh, you mean both of us?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not, listen, I'm not. I mean, Hegman might be struggling looking at the glare off my bald head, for all I know. But
No.
I think we're low enough that we're undercover. We couldn't put the tent up, though, because of all the scouts.
You know, I may have to switch the headset mic on this ear because the Dynamite new wardrobe, which we have to get a shot of, that curveball is fouled back to us. So, what do you think, Ryan? Let's see. Now, this is called multitasking, right? There we go. All right, here we go.
There you go. You look much better now.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, you know, we have to, give credit where credit is due here. So, 2-2 with a runner at third and nobody out. Gross gets a hold of that one and keeps Ajijian from scoring. And the count now runs full. I promise you, after this at bat, the folks at home are going to see our new wardrobe.
Well, I'd have to put mine up.
Absolutely.
I'd have to put mine on.
Absolutely.
Maybe we'll have to change between innings so we don't
Negative.
crackling on a microphone.
Split screen, 3-2 down the middle. Called strike 3 on Sands, and he's out of there.
Wow. That's a big-time pitch. Runner at third base. And have the confidence to go back to an all-speed, knowing that some of the sliders have bitten in the dirt. But, Hegeman, 4-pitch guy that can throw them all for strikes and adds another backwards K in the book. His third strikeout looking.
1 out. Ajijian is still at third. Here comes a squeeze attempt by Sam Wood, but it's fouled back.
Well, so far, we talked about the importance we would have the guys behind the home plate and then potentially seeing a deployment of small ball. And that's certainly one there. Your umpire friend right in the middle of the C position.
Well, he's not used to television. See, that's the first thing you got to do. Not sure where the pitch was, but okay, Bob just said it was high because we can't tell because John Dubel's big head is in the way right there, the base umpire.
Oh,
1 ball, 1 strike.
He's doing a nice job modeling the umpire out. Maybe he gets him at the sports outlet up there with Frank in Glendora. Is that where he shops?
No, he doesn't have many umpire things.
Oh, I thought he does.
Great guy, by the way.
Oh, yeah, big time. A lot of baseballs from Sports Outlet up there in Glendora.
The Frank Sr., Jr., or just both?
Both.
Okay. Here's the 2-1 coming. Missed outside. 3-1 to Sam Wood. Luke Sharp on deck. Shortstop for Mainland. 3-2 our score. Mainland in front, top of the third. By the way, we're an hour in. Not too bad.
No.
3-1.
Oh, boy.
Chase that, and it's a full count.
Yeah, again, late rise on that pitch as it flooded through the zone those last 3 feet or so. You can see it kind of just change levels.
I think you set him up here with the cutter again. You caught him looking last time.
I think he's going to try to get him to chase up and away here. There it is.
You are right, my friend, and he goes down swinging. That's his second strikeout, Wood is. And that's 2 outs, 2 big outs for Luke Sharp, who grounded out the second his first time up.
Yeah, that was a strong move there by Hageman and Gross to get on the same page. Looks like he's getting some help from pitching coach.
5 strikeouts for Hageman. That's fouled away to Sharp. This would be a huge get. You are right there. This would be a huge get out for Hageman. I mean, you got a guy that you hit. He advances to third on 2 wild pitches, and now you want to strand him there. And the 0-1.
Oh, my.
Oh, he called it a strike.
Oh, yeah. That was a nice pitch.
Yep. 2 strikes.
And I guess you're going to maybe have a conversation with your umpire brethren
I am. I'll take
between
care
innings.
of it.
Appreciate
I
that.
promise you I'll take care of that. Consider it done. Was that an order or a request?
Kind of a combo. My, oh, my.
Hageman with 6 strikeouts, and he strikes out the side, and that ends the Mustang third. We're going to the bottom of the third. Mainland strands a runner. 3-2 Mustangs. Welcome back, everybody. Bottom of the third here in Absecon. A good ball game, 3-2 Mainland in front with 2 home runs to start in the top of the first, and Holy Spirit came back with a couple in their half. And as you can see, we are properly attired thanks to the big boss.
Hey.
BFA, look at this. This is, you can't get, as a matter of fact, this is so good that I switched ears so that I wouldn't have the cable in the way.
I appreciate that,
That's
Chris.
right.
You
You
know,
know what I mean?
That's branding 101. But shout out to Paramount Design Works in Vineland. Fantastic job here on the embroidery and the Team BFA pullovers that you'll see in full effect at the Coaches vs. Cancer Classic this weekend at Mainland High School. It looks like we're ready to go here again.
I am going to also sport the back of it in a second as we go to the bottom of the third. This
That is Tyler Gross.
Tyler Gross, the catcher, to lead off the third. 3-2, Mainland is in front. You know, the way they do the lineups, and Gross chased that pitch. 2 strikes to the catcher for Holy Spirit. And now It's like Billy Kern wants to go out and talk to Chase Petty.
Yeah. Obviously something there
Oh, I think no. This is going to be a medical visit.
grabbed coach's attention. I think he's more concerned about the landing spot on the mound.
So for those of you at home that are watching this, now the umpire is there with Billy Kern, because if this conversation only consists of his condition or his concern about where he lands, then this would not be considered a charged visit to the mound.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing in the old telephone listening game right now, trying to determine what the nature of the visit was.
Right.
But I guess he's waving him off because Coach Kern is at least getting a good chuckle out of it.
Yep, that appears to be the case. I tried to get Bob's attention, but, Bob is in his element right now. It's big game Bob Willman there on the plate.
So let me ask you this.
After this 0-2 pitch. Fouled away. Go for it.
Is the home team obligated to go out and do something to that mound if he feels uncomfortable with it?
They are, because it's the top of the inning. So what you do in the top half would affect the bottom half, but you can't do it in the bottom of the half, really.
Okay, so if
That would be a yes.
So if Hageman comes out, let's say the next inning, and he doesn't like the mound, they can't bring out a rake.
They would bring out a rake, yeah. Oh, no. Hageman, no.
Right.
No. That's filthy. 5 strikeouts for Petty. 1 down here in the third.
Holy cow.
Sorry, 4 strikeouts. Top of the order, C.J. Egri walked and scored a run in the first inning. And he's got a cool walk-up. Cutter must have been outside. The Mainland dugout, and Billy Kern letting Bob know that he can hear him. There's a strike, 1-1.
See, I like this approach by Petty because now he's focused, he's dialing in, he's not trying to overthrow. Now he's just mixing in his pitches in his command.
Now he rushed up his delivery there, and it's 2-1 with that delivery low.
It's effective. You don't always have to just try to, hit triple digits with every pitch, but
Sure.
when you can actually change up the tempo and the delivery, that's lethal with that kind of velocity.
Now it's 2-2. You know what? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a selfie, okay, of the guys behind me, okay, as he delivers his pitch, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see how many guns. In the dirt, Campbell's got it, makes the play, and that's 2 outs here in the fourth or third, now to bring up Jaden Schertel.
Well, now we're starting to see this pitcher duel really develop. These guys are starting to pick up strikes like it's Halloween candy. So that's 5 strikeouts.
How many guns do you see?
That's a lot of guns there.
If we get a chance, Ryan, flip over to the GoPro real quick. Is 2 outs and nobody on for Schertel. Grounded out to second base and moved a runner first time up. Cutter on the inside corner. 1 strike.
Yeah, Schertel grounded out right side his first at bat, but it was a productive one as he had moved C.J. Egri into third base, ultimately scoring him.
Sharp at short on 2 hops. High throw. Gigiano is on the bag, and that will end the Spartan third. We'll go to the fourth. It's 3-2 Mainland here on BFA. Yeah. Top of the fourth inning here in Absecon. We're at Holy Spirit. It's 3-2 Mainland. Big matchup here, and you can tell because there's a lot of big-time media, not to mention all the scouts, and we got the biggest of the big time here joining us now. Josh Friedman from the Courier Post. What's up, buddy?
Hey, man, thanks for the compliment.
Yeah.
Just slide that 20 over whenever you get a chance, you know.
I thought I promised you 40 for a compliment like that.
Well, I'll tell you, man, you're on a streak because you picked a real good one yesterday. You had Shawnee and Paul VI, and now you got this matchup. But not exactly the recipe that we all expected, at least early on.
Yeah, it's. I mean, look, I've never been in a situation like these kids have, and there's a lot of eyes out here. This is, I think I was saying, this is probably the biggest crowd I've seen at any sporting event in this whole between the fall and football, winter or spring. I mean, there's a lot of eyes here. There's a lot of scouts. There's a lot of pressure. I think you saw that in the first inning a bit. Both pitchers have settled down a little. Chase has recorded, 8 straight outs, I believe.
Yes.
And Hageman, look, he's got 6 strikeouts. You've kind of seen both sides from him. He's had some really good stuff.
That's a don't know.
There's a nice try, a nice attempt there by Hageman trying to barehand that.
That's a no-no.
Nah. But you've kind of seen both. He's had a little trouble with control, but you can definitely see the stuff there with him. One of the scouts told me he was hit 90 already. Petty hit 100, but a few times I've peeked up, it was about 96. He's been really sitting so far today. So.
Yeah, it's one of the things that I had even mentioned early on. You knew the first inning, the blood pressure was going to be really high. These guys are going to have some nerves going. But now things have really settled in. You've looked at innings 2, 3, and 4, and it's like it looks like a different ball game.
Yeah, I mean, Hageman threw. I think I had him for 36 pitches in that first inning.
Yeah.
So I mean, he was working hard. And look, it's the first. These guys haven't played varsity baseball, and the number of the day yesterday was about 690. I think most teams had it about 690 days had been since they played high school baseball.
That's amazing.
And you saw yesterday. I saw a Division I kid in Xavier, Ryan Rumsey, Paul VI. He gave up 4 runs. He pitched well, but gave up a couple. Alec Balls from Shawnee gave up 2 first-inning home runs too. So it's still young in the season, and I know these kids play AAU ball, but this is a different animal. There's the pressure of winning for your team in this, and you don't get that with the travel clubs, and now that's a very it's a team sport, baseball. It's an individual exhibition on those fronts.
Well, Doug mentioned also that these kids know each other very well. I mean, they work out together. When they're not, that ball gets away from Gross, and that's going to send Sheeran up to second. By the way, Sheeran reached on that ball up the middle that Hageman, which you're not supposed to do, reached out with his bare hand, and he deflected it away. So, all right, so with a runner at second, nobody, I want to go back to my point about familiarity. I mean, these kids work out together. I mean, they know each other very well. And then Doug brought up the point, look, this isn't the first time they're going to see a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. And they were on him in the first inning, and they got a couple runs.
Yeah, I mean, and that's look, it all started with a walk too. I mean, it's been control. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I have to go back in my notes, but yeah, Egri walked to lead off the game, and
yes, he did.
That starts it all off. That puts pressure on kids, and I haven't seen the best control in my 2 games so far. You've seen some walks so far.
Corsi almost had a problem with that, but he's able to make the play.
There you go. I got to learn to pause for you.
You're fine. Don't worry about it.
You're good.
You called me over for a conversation. I thought we were just talking over here. I forgot you guys actually had a job.
See this right here? This is a television. Everybody can see it. Don't worry about it. Mark Elliott moves up to third with 1 out. And Chase Petty at the bat. What do you think of him at the bat, by the way?
Well, I mean, look, he had a great hit to start the game. You saw the wheels. I'm wondering how many scouts you'd love seeing him try to steal second there in the first inning. I mean, that scared the heck out of me if I was a scout. I mean, great, obviously a huge part of the offense for Mainland. But, you don't want to see this kid get hurt at all. But that's what he means. That kind of attitude, he's trying to win for this team. And that you can tell how much winning for Mainland means to him. And, these kids want championships this year. And both these teams, 8-10 teams, I think, legitimately to start the season have championship aspirations in South Jersey to be the best. And you're seeing it out here already.
Well, and his older brother, Logan, plays for Atlantic Cape Community College. Unfortunately, just had a pretty bad knee injury. He's going to miss some time there. But when I saw his dad, and he was saying, listen, this is his senior season. Chase has every intention of doing everything he can to help this team win. And he's going to hit, and he's going to play in the field, and he's still going to pitch, just like he would any other year, any other day of the week.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to, I did a story on Bishop Eustace's Anthony Solometto, probably the other big-time high school recruit here in South Jersey. He's a top 50, 60 guy in South Jersey, and he hasn't had regular at-bats, in his whole career. And he's going to be a big part of the Eustace lineup all season. So I think you're seeing that all these kids, after losing last year, they know what time lost feels like. They want to make every at-bat, every opportunity count.
The 2-0 fouled back And it's 2-1. Don't mind me. I'm trying to move the base umpire because he's right in the center field shot. So it's 2-1. That's John Dubel, by the way. We are working together in the Thank You Classic.
Okay. Yeah.
So on the days that I don't umpire, then I think we're doing that tournament, right?
Do the umpires listen to the media out there? Is he listening to you over there?
We have more control than you might think sometimes.
That curveball is nubbed in front of the plate. Hageman off the mound, no throw. And the Mustangs have 2 on now with 1 out. And I don't think that's a bad thing because a ground ball here, although it's Brody Levin at the plate, gets you out of the inning there, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised Hageman didn't try and get the out there, but I understand the threat of the third base there. But, another run here.
Yeah, that's a big run.
It's a big run. I'd really try to get out of this inning as fast as I can, maybe take that shot. But I understand why he didn't there.
What's your pitch count on Chase right now?
I'd have to add it up. Like I said, I was at 36 at the first inning. He was up to.
No, Chase. You had 36 for Hageman.
I'm sorry. I have not added up Chase's yet. He's been on cruise control the last 3 innings. I don't think he's doing too bad in that regard.
Did you see I took my phone out and I did a quick selfie behind when Chase would deliver a pitch and all the radar guns are out there?
I took a picture of myself.
You got to show it to me because you probably have a better one than I do.
It's a lot. I mean, it's definitely something unique for this, for a high school baseball game. And I've seen scouts at games before, but I guess there's had to be at least 40 here, I would imagine. And like I said,
there's only 32 teams in the league.
I mean, it felt like that. It felt like there were 40, 50
I'm
scouts
just
here.
kidding. You're right.
You're right. But look at the crowd down there.
Absolutely.
It's 4 deep down the third baseline.
Runner breaks, no throw from from Gross, and 2 on and 1 out now. They're both in scoring position for Mainland. Making a threat here, up 3-2 in the top of the 4th. Chris Losey, Doug Stasic, Josh Friedman joining us here in the booth behind the plate. BFA Sports and high school baseball, and now they're going to intentionally walk Levin to load the bases, and Cole Campbell, strikeout victim, but he hit a solo home run in the first inning, and that will bring out another visit from the Holy Spirit Mountain. It gives me a chance to tell you the story that I love to tell. Umpiring in the Cape Cod League, I just get done a game on the plate somewhere, like it was Orleans or something, and then I'm back in my room. I get a message from our signer. I think this is great. I got third base. No, you know where I was? I was at Hyannis. But anyway, because I figured the next night I'm at third base at Orleans. It's perfect. They got the burn there, 3,000 people, awesome facility, great environment. He says to me, "You're on the plate again tomorrow night." And I'm like, "But Nick, I just did the plate tonight." He goes, "I don't want to hear it. You're on the plate tomorrow night. There's a kid that's throwing. There's going to be a ton of scouts there." I go to Harwich. Tim Lincecum was the pitcher.
Nice.
The year was 2005, and there's more to that story, actually. The visit is over, and the bases are loaded for Mainland with 1 out here in the top of the 4th. Brody Levin, 2-run home run in the first inning, struck out in the second.
He was intentionally walked, actually. I think we got Campbell.
I'm sorry, we got Cole Campbell with a solo home run. My bad. Cole Campbell with a solo home run in the first.
I was a bit surprised that one got out. I liked it, and I felt like it was a major league. Too high.
Too high.
Too high.
Yes.
So.
Not too high, too gone.
It's gone. Forget about it.
So Campbell takes a strike.
Josh, some awesome coverage by you and the rest of the Courier Post crew in the preseason, but had to be pretty difficult with a whole lost season trying to figure out who some of the up-and-comers are.
Yeah, it's interesting. You're talking to a lot of these coaches, and everyone has the same thing. It's a lot of uncertainty. Most of the except for a handful of teams, you got most of your lineups here have never had no varsity experience or very, very little. And the teams that are going to succeed are going to be the kids who grow up real fast. And I saw it yesterday with Paul the Sixth.
Oh my!
Ripped into the gap in left center, and that might clear the bases. 1 run is in. Here comes another one. They're going to hold Levin at third. It is a double for Campbell. 2 runs in, and it is 5-2.
Campbell having himself an afternoon for sure. Collecting RBI like it's Halloween candy.
Coach Kern really typed him up to me before the season as well. Everyone's talking, we talk about Chase and the pitching and all that. And he said, he's not chasing the same kid without a guy like Campbell behind the backstop. And, praising his defense. And obviously the bat is certainly making its presence felt today.
So he's going to run for the catcher here. So Campbell will take a seat. Was that 18? I don't see an 18 on the roster.
Even with my glasses, that's still too far away from me.
That's all right.
It is 18.
Okay, and this is Alex Ajiji, and into the game at first base for Nick Wagner. That change was made by Billy Kern, I believe, in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, he had an ice pack on his shoulder, it looked like, earlier, so he had to do something in that
You can't get this anywhere else. You just can't.
Eagle eye. That number 18 is actually a true freshman, and that is Christian Elliott, the brother of Mark Elliott.
But as I was saying earlier, with the young guys, as you said, I saw, a kid who threw 3 innings, his whole in freshman year as a junior at Paul VI. Severino from Paul VI comes in with the bases loaded, up 7-5, no outs in the 7th, replacing John Ormsby going to Virginia, who had a rough day with his control, 2 amped up yesterday, and he gets 3 straight outs to end the game. I mean, that's the kind of performance you're going to need from some of these kids who have no varsity experience, and that was a big one. You're going to see that all season. These kids who have never had a big moment are going to be placed in those moments, and these experiences early in the season are going to be vital when the playoffs come around.
Yeah, Zach Severino is going to be a guy to watch for quite some time. I mean, he's a different breed.
He was nasty. I mean, like I said, he threw really well, and the team had so much confidence in him. Matt Vance told me after that game that he knew right away he was going to get those outs, and you don't usually see that with a kid who's throwing 3 varsity innings in his career. So
2-2 to Ajijian. That's there. Oh no, it's not there. Pointed outside, Bob Wilman did. We have a bad vantage point, so, I mean, I trust Bob. And the count runs full.
I've been fooled by a couple of his calls. It sounds like he's called strike 3 a couple times, and I thought, he called a ball, and I've been confused a little bit. But.
He does that on purpose. 3-2-1 out, and the TG calls time.
I'm curious, a guy like Hageman who's going to West Virginia, he's obviously a big-time pitcher, but I wonder, how hard is it to pitch a guy like Chase when a couple runs is going to be really hard to make up, and there's so much pressure out there being on him on the mound to start this game. I wonder how much of that plays a part in it.
Well, he blew that one by Ajijian. That's another strikeout. I've got 6 for him. That's his second out of the inning. For Clayton Sands, 2 on and 2 outs, 2 runs in, 5-2 Mustangs.
I really like the way that Hageman has responded. After he got out of the first inning, he's been a different kid.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, just a little bit of control has really been his only problem so far, and the walks have hurt him. Only a couple kids have really barreled the ball on him, but the free passes, they play a role. They really do.
I hate to be a Johnny Raincloud here, but, looking at the lineup, the official lineup card that Billy Kern presented did not have Christian Elliott as a sub.
Well, he gave us that. He gave us that.
I know he did.
No. He gave it the last night. That is not an official. You're not looking at an official lineup card.
I took a picture of it, and unless I don't see it, then that could be an issue. But do you have the official?
I just took the one off the
wall over there.
Off the wall over there.
Yeah, Christian Elliott was didn't have a
I don't have it at the bottom.
Number.
Okay. Oh. Well, if he was listed as a sub, then
he literally got his jersey before the game. Instead of sending him, actually, Coach Kern told me instead of sending him the JV and playing a JV game, he wanted him to experience this.
That's nice.
I've seen much worse lineup full pause in my career.
1 ball, no strikes with 2 outs.
So tell the fans, where are you guys going to be all season? Are you guys going to be roaming around South Jersey? You guys, where are you guys all going to be this year?
Interestingly enough, just when I asked you the question about, how hard was it to kind of figure out who some of these players are, I found it remarkably difficult to try to line up a schedule of what we would dub games of the week, not knowing who would match up pretty well. So we're going to give it about a week before we roll out the rest of the schedule. But we will be at Coaches versus Cancer this weekend, covering all 10 games starting on Friday. And then next week we have Gloucester Catholic at Clearview at the Trenton Thunder Stadium, which is going to be at 7 o'clock under lights. And then after that, Josh, we're waiting to see how things play out this first week to build the rest of the schedule.
Well, I got a hunch you'll be down here in the Cape territory once or twice more.
Yeah.
As the season goes on, this this is as good as the Cape's obviously had great baseball, but these the big five of this group, Mainland, Ocean City, Spirit Prep, and Egg Harbor. Anytime these two teams meet, it's going to be must-watch baseball.
No question. We do already have the rematch for this, which is going to be 7 o'clock under the lights at Birch Grove Park in Northfield. That's going to be in May.
Curveball misses the Clayton Sands, runs full, 3-2. Just if I could jump in, 2 on and 2 out. Go ahead.
No, you're fine.
Water's warm, right? Jump in.
There you go. All right. I got to fill the dead air somehow, right?
2, yeah, right. 2 runs in. A 3-2 pitch coming. to Clayton Sands from Hageman. Fouled away. We'll do it again.
You know,
where are you going to be? I'm sorry. Where are you going to be next?
Well, I'll be at Coach's Cancer twice as well. I'll be at the Eustis game on Friday, and Catholic Eustis Ocean City. Solometo will make his debut. I believe I was told Gannon Brady will be on the hill for Ocean City. I believe I heard that right.
That's some good intel.
And that's what I was told. Everything could change. And then Gloucester Catholic St. Augustine on Sunday. Obviously, it's become tradition in that tournament, kind of that 2 o'clock start at Mainland. So I'll be there as well. I know
Hot tamales. Way to squeeze that one, Stephen Petrosh.
Steve Petrosh at short flags that down. Ends the threat. 2 runs for Mainland in the 4th. We're going to the bottom of the 4th here in Absecon. Spartans trail it 5-2 here on BFA.
All right, and so we have a trivia question.
Oh, did that leak over?
Well, we're already here. So the question is, as there was a debate on the number that Chase Petty hit, would it be recorded as a hit, an error, or a fielder's choice? The question is, can you record a fielder's choice in the book but not give credit for a hit and not give credit for an out? I think the answer is no.
Well, Google had OWL, O-W-L. So even though they know I went to Temple.
Oh, that one's off the foot.
I went to plate.
Trevor Cohen is the Rutgers commit.
Did you see it shoot up?
He joined the Holy Spirit debate club that was captained by Coach Normain. Didn't go well for him earlier in the game, and looks like Cohen's still in the box.
And Cohen has a run scored in 2 at-bats today. That's inside. 2 balls and no strikes. 5-2, bottom of the 4th. Mainland in front, and I'm still searching.
Man, I'll tell you, the Rutgers University baseball program and football programs, they've been doing one heck of a job recruiting out of South Jersey. Cohen, one of the latest.
Oh, new coach at Rutgers. I do know that.
Yeah. Well, interestingly enough, so Joey Hoops, who was on the roster here with Mainland, his older brother,
would you care
Jason, is at Rutgers.
Yeah. Would you care to hear a response?
Let's go.
After the 2-1 pitch to Cohen. Misses outside. 3-1. A fielder's choice is a play in which an infielder attempts to make a play at a base other than first base on a ground ball. The play is scored as a fielder's choice whether the attempted play is successful or not, so not all fielder's choices result in an out. As Cohen walks.
But he didn't attempt to make a play at first base or any other.
So that makes you both right because, no, seriously, because Doug is right because an out wasn't recorded, and you're right because
I was just
as it says here at the bottom.
But he didn't make an attempt to make an out at any other base. You said any base but first base.
The play is scored as a fielder's choice whether the attempted play is successful or not, so not all fielder's choices result in an out. All right, so no play. So you know what? Doug is correct. It's a hit. You're wrong, Josh.
I finally won something.
And I stay on the payroll. That's all that matters.
You were actually right the first time. Doug got it right as far as what's in the book.
Oh.
I got it right. I got the trivia question right.
Right side. You got that right.
That was a fielder's choice.
That was.
Brody Levin with the put out, and that will move up, go into second with 1 out.
Always an adventure.
And the shortstop, Stephen Petrosh.
All right, so you got Ryan. So Petrosh struck out his last at bat. Spina, who's on deck, also did, but with 1 out in a 3-run game. Do you run the risk and try to bunt him over?
Not with Petrosh's bat. I know he's probably one of their better bats. You got to get this run in somehow.
I'm not giving them an out with Chase Petty. I'm just not giving them an out, no.
No outs. Maybe I take that chance, but 1 out. You can't.
Well, I get him the third,
Yeah,
but
I
no.
mean, yeah.
No. Here's a look at Petrosh. As Doug said, struck out in the second and hit him right in the head.
Well,
let's see if we got any.
Gonna
What
check.
do we got on that pitch?
Look at this
guys?
guy. Hard 90. Okay, Steve.
What do we got on that pitch?
Oh, he was slowing it down. 93-mile-an-hour fastball right in the dome for Petrosh, and now you've got 2 on and 1 out for the Spartans. You don't have to bunt him over.
So,
and here's Ryan Spina, and as Doug mentioned, he struck out also.
yeah, well, Petrosh, smart kid, but that takes using your head to a completely different level. So good for him. He's got a good speed rating on that helmet.
That's scary to watch, man. I'm not gonna lie. That's a scary thing to see on a baseball diamond with the how hard Chase throws.
Oh yeah.
That gives you chills a little bit to watch that happen. I'm glad he's okay.
Yeah, the way his reaction, very typical of Stephen Petrosh. Play the game hard, doesn't matter if it's the first out, the last out, or hitting the head.
You're a big fan of the family.
I am.
Spina couldn't catch up to that fastball, 1 strike to him. 2 on and 1 out for Holy Spirit. Chance to get back into it.
Oh, man, look at that. He turned on that one.
Well, I feel like Doug's becoming a made man here in South Jersey a little bit. He knows everybody. He's starting to know everybody in this point.
Well, you know.
94 on that fastball.
Blessed to have a lot of people that have been supportive of helping us bring high school athletics to as many people as we can.
2 strikes to Petrosh with 2 on. That pitch is outside.
That thing moved.
I mean, everyone focuses on the gas, and I understand why with Chase. But you've seen some of these off-speed pitches. That stuff. That's what's going to get him to the next level. Is that off-speed stuff? I mean, most of his strikeouts have come off the off-speed stuff. To be honest with you.
Yeah. No, I like the fact that he hasn't tried to overdo it with the velocity. I mean, he's been dancing around the strike zone, using these off-speed pitches, and he just got another victim.
Caught looking for Spina. 2 outs as the papers blew away. And it was funny because the scouts, they saw it on the ground, they waited, and then after Chase threw the pitch, then they picked it up for us. Thanks a lot.
I wasn't prepared to grab him with the wind. I apologize on that one.
It did.
I tried to back up the runner there, and I failed miserably.
And I scratched you hard. Yeah, it's up to Ethan Corsi now for the Spartans with 2 on and 2 out. And now Willman just threw somebody out. Somebody just got dumped.
Somebody got dumped. Like, for a date?
No, it's not. Is it Steve? I think Steve Normain just got thrown out of the game.
All right.
No, it's not Steve Normain. He's in the middle.
It must be a player.
No, it's a coach.
No, the umpire looks like he's looking towards past the dugout.
It's the assistant coach who just left. I'm not sure which one he got.
All right.
Little fireworks.
Tempers are flaring.
I didn't even see what happened.
I don't either, and I don't even know.
I think somebody chirped.
I don't even know if it was about the strike zone or not because.
That was a good off-speed pitch there. I don't know. There wasn't anything to complain about there. That was a nice little pitch.
Not much on that one. All right.
So we'll see what the ejection does. And Corsi, 2 on and 2 out in the bottom of the 4th. Missed that fastball.
And you got to steal at third base.
That's right. Cohen goes up to third. However, Petrosh stays at first. And now you have first and third.
Well, Campbell heads up play. He was looking to shoot down the trail runner, realizing that with a 3-run lead, wasn't so concerned that we were second to home. So why not try to catch him? Maybe not giving a hard 90 to second, but Petrosh saw that he had him in his crosshairs.
So Cohen at third, Petrosh at first, 2 outs, and a 1-strike count on Ethan Corsi. Do you recognize these names on the roster on either of these teams as football players too?
That's a good question. I mean, obviously Shurtell, for St. Joe. St. Joe with Egri was a great corner. He was an all-South Jersey kid. for Holy Spirit. You know, that they were the #1 team in South Jersey this year. There's probably a few more, but to be honest, I'm kind of blanking at the moment off the top of my head.
Dude, I'm telling you, these guys, the athleticism that we're seeing in South Jersey, and it's not even just baseball, but these guys are multi-sport athletes, and that's what really a lot of the colleges want to see.
That strike 2 pitch was 98 on the gun in the 4th inning. 0-2.
Oh.
And that's nasty.
Hello.
That is why Chase Petty is a big-time pitching recruit.
Well,
Gets the Mustangs out of the jam. No runs for the Spartans. They leave 2. Going to the 5th here in Absecon. Our thanks to Josh Friedman of the Courier Post for joining us. 5th inning baseball coming up next here on BFA. Fifth inning baseball, and the day for Mr. Hegeman is done for Holy Spirit. He goes 4 innings, gives up 5 runs, and the new Holy Spirit pitcher is the left-hander Jaden Schertel. Comes in from the outfield.
yeah, Schertel, southpaw, very crafty and very electric type of movement. So it's going to be a completely different look because now you're going to see balls diving in onto the hands of a lot of these mainland hitters. Velocity, a little bit different, but you're going to see he likes to work his corners. He's going to go up and in, and he's going to come down and away, and it's going to feel like a merry-go-round.
Why are lefties crafty? Who titled them? Who gave them that moniker?
I think it's crafty because it looks so different.
Jamie Moyer was crafty, right?
Yeah, but
okay.
you'll see.
But Aroldis Chapman is not crafty. That pitch is inside, and a ball 1.
Yeah, Schertel, 3-quarter delivery. Really good-looking pitch here. He's got a cannon for an arm. We already knew that. He's showing it.
Sam Wood, tough day for him today. Struck out all 3 times he's been up. Missed the outside edge. Why do I have 3?
I don't know, but he's only been up. He's only been up twice.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Behind him has 2 at-bats as well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, it's 2-2. Missed outside. Count runs full. And you're right about Schertel, though.
Yeah,
he's bringing it.
He is. He's going to bring it. He's going to move it around. He's a guy that likes to get guys to chase. No pun intended.
Ball 4 up high. And Wood is on base for the first time.
So the youngster, Sam Wood, we saw him being a little over-aggressive with the high pitches up out of the zone late in the counts. His first 2 at-bats, makes a good adjustment and shows some patience, earns his base.
We'll bring up Luke Sharp, another one of the first-time starters. Shortstop.
Oh.
Ooh, and that got everybody.
Yeah, that's a 3-for-1. So we're going to see the obligatory running out the lane. And it looks like we got to change at catchers. So Gross is out, and now you got Samson Gerner.
So we have a new catcher, 19, Samson Gerner. We have to get, we were too busy with Mr. Freeman.
Yeah,
Maybe
so
Mr. Freeman can help us out with that.
I wonder if it's a straight change. There was a discussion between Norman and Kern.
Chartel with a pickoff throw.
The old hypnotize move.
What's that mean?
Stare towards home plate and then lean your way and go over back to first. So it's kind of
Gotcha.
avoid eye contact.
Oh, I see. I see you, but I don't want to see you.
Exactly.
He's doing it again. No. He's coming home. Sharp misses that one. 2 strikes. What on first?
Again, with this fantastic media coverage, it was great to have Josh Friedman from the Courier Post with us there. And also want to give a shout-out down here at Cape Atlantic territory. We are just a stone's throw away from the Press of Atlantic City headquarters. And sports editor Nicholas Huba watching in the office, saying he's enjoying the broadcast.
Delayed steal on the strikeout as Sharp strikes out. There's 1 out, but Wood goes up to second. Now that is manufacturing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean it's heads up. You kind of see a little bit of cobwebs maybe, or at least trying to test. Since you have a new catcher behind the plate, you want to kind of see what you're up against.
Joe Sheeran 1 for 2. Base hit off the hand of Hageman. Remember the barehanded attempt?
There is Joe Sheeran.
1 strike to him. You know, in all the years that you have worked with pitchers, do you get that point across to not let your bare hand out? As that one gets through, Gerner can't find it. Wood goes up to third.
Yeah, it's these guys are taking advantage of the opportunities, and now with a runner just 90 feet away scoring a run here, this is
it's imperative here for Chartel to keep the Mustangs off the board with a runner at third, as Doug mentioned. 1-1 count and 1 out. Sheeran bunts on the squeeze, and it's foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Sharp on the strikeout. When Luke Sharp struck out, which was funny because a delayed steal that put the Mustangs in this situation, and then a wild pitch moves Wood to third, and there's a big strikeout for Chartel. Sheeran chases 1 up high, and that's 2 outs in the top of the order for Mark Elliott.
Yeah, these youngsters getting baptized out here at Holy Spirit in this first.
Baptized at Holy Spirit.
Learning some lessons in a tall order. You got Hageman and now Chartel, 2 tough guys to face, but hey, give them credit. Guys
you didn't answer my question. I'm sorry. As a baseball coach and what you've done, do you tell the pitchers when that ball is hit, do not use your bare hand to try to field it, or no?
It's tough because I think it's I mean, obviously you'd prefer them not to, but it just instincts kind of take over. And
no doubt. But do you tell them that?
Oh no, yeah, no, and you don't want a pitcher touching a baseball.
Okay, that's what I want.
Even with the glove, if that ball's hit right up the middle, I'm like, listen, man, let it go.
You never know. You might have a guy behind you.
Although
in that case, they didn't. Chartel delivers. And pitches off the outside edge. 1 ball and 1 strike. Mark Elliott, top of the order. Officially 1 for 2. Walking a strikeout. That's there. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Going back, talking about great coverage down here in Atlantic County. Again, Press of Atlantic City has been a cornerstone for years. So I know, again, Nicholas Huba giving us some props as he's watching in the office as that one's fouled out down the third base side, out of territory. Unless Spina was going to get a hot dog, potentially.
I'll tell you. And you heard Josh mention it, 4 deep along the line. The last time I saw a crowd like this was the game I did, a St. Joe's Holy Spirit playoff game that was 2014. And tons of people everywhere. The snow fence out in the outfield.
Yeah.
Full. 3 deep all the way around. It was really something to see. I never that many people in this town.
Well, hey, the great news is we're providing a lot of front row seats here at BFA Sports.
Absolutely. Love it. 1-2 with 2 outs. Fouled away. We'll do it again.
Elliott, man, just tough as nails, digging in the box, fighting for every pitch. He's really, again, he and Shurtell work out together in the offseason. They go live starting usually right around January and start to battle it out. So always a tough order when it's lefty on lefty, but when you have familiarity,
Sure.
it's between the ears which wins the battle.
Wood at third. The 1-2 with 2 outs.
Look at this guy. Continues to fight. He continues to fight.
Lost in all of this, though, is that Mainland got into the bullpen and they got Hageman out.
Well, it was one of the RK Chevrolet keys to the game early on, and they checked that box.
Up high, 2-2.
And really, it was a testament to what they did in the first inning. Josh Freeman had mentioned 36 pitches for Hageman early on. That takes away the opportunity to go distance and length. So now the tough order is that Petty has a much lower pitch count, and that Holy Spirit's going to continue to have to battle against him.
8th pitch of the at-bat fouled away. We'll do it again. 2-2. To Mark Elliott, the center fielder for the Mustangs. Chase Petty in the on-deck circle. He's yelling at Elliott to hit it the other way.
Seeing a lot of aggression down there at third base.
That's Sam Wood at third on the right box. Center field camera in the left box. And finally, Shurtell wins the battle. He strikes out Elliott to end the threat. No runs for Mainland in the top of the 5th. We're going to the bottom of the 5th. It's 5-2 Mainland here on BFA. Bottom of the 5th, 5-2 the score here in our monster matchup that somebody called it here on BFA, Mainland and Holy Spirit. And of course, the pitching matchup of David Hageman and Chase Petty. Chris Losey, Doug Stasic, and the BFA Sports crew here this afternoon. Had a chance to talk between innings to home plate umpire Bob Willman, and it was an assistant coach. I know you wanted to know, right, Doug? There it is.
100%.
Fastball from Petty is down low. Chase Petty still in the game in his 5th inning of work. He's allowed 2 runs in the first inning to settle down nicely. At one point, he actually retired 11 straight out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here comes the 1-1. Slider on the corner. Called strike 1 and 2. So I got myself another selfie with all the radar guns. There you go. All the radar guns.
It's a lot of guns. It's a lot of juice.
And the 1-2. Curveball just missed inside. The Mainland bench can't believe it. Our angle, though, the curveball missed inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. To Vince Spina. Spina strikes out. 1 out in the 5th.
All right, and so a guy who is torn, I guess that's why he's been walking around doing laps in this place, is Ed Charlton. So Eddie Charlton, the alum of St. Augustine Prep, but more importantly, a co-owner of the Baseball Performance Center, who I guess has familiarity because about 85% of the guys on the field at some point are training with you. So there's a lot of, I guess, rivalry, a lot of bragging rights. You got a lot of challenges on your hands today, buddy.
Yeah, this is definitely a fun one for us to be at. I mean, it's the reason we closed up the facility for the game, so we could get all the staff out here to watch these guys. I think there's 16 total between these 2 teams out here.
You called it a holiday?
Yeah. But yeah, it's definitely fun to get out here. With Chase and David on the mound starting it off.
Surprised you didn't wear a shirt that was like half Holy Spirit and half Mainland, like the parents do in the Super Bowl. We got a kid on each team.
Yeah, it's interesting. Eddie's in a very peculiar situation, but
Switzerland.
I'm rooting for the hitters.
Yeah. Samson Gerner, the catcher, came in for Tyler Gross. Takes a curveball in the zone.
Ed, I know you're big, obviously, on the hitting standpoint, but something we were talking about at the beginning of the game was the importance of the catcher, because you're dealing with 2 dominant pitchers, and knowing that the runners are going to be a premium, the ability to be able to keep the ball in front of you and catch some of the filth is not an easy task. But, Cole, Campbell, and Chase have been working together with you for a while.
Yeah, Cole, he's been in, all offseason with Chase, catching pretty much all of his bullpen. So being able to do that for him was huge, because, that was one of the bigger concerns, is he was a younger guy, going to be catching a premier arm in the country, and, how would he handle it all year? But he's doing a pretty good job. Did well all offseason with it, too.
Yeah, and that was Samson Gerner, who just stepped in, replacing Gross.
And then saw a filthy slider for strike 3. So we got 9 Ks for Chase. 2 out here in the 5th. And that's a knee bender.
I don't know if Bob saw that one.
Hey, now.
Again, we talked about that's another dynamic for this game. A lot of these umpires aren't used to seeing triple digits from high school players.
He is, well, not from high school, no. Eggery on the ground to short. Sharp with the throw. 1, 2, 3 go the Spartans here in the bottom of the 5th. That stick around with us, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right, 6th inning coming up on BFA. It's 5-2 Mainland. We welcome you back to Absecon. This is Holy Spirit High School and BFA Sports live coverage of high school baseball here. Chris Losey, Doug Stasic, Ed Charlton joining us as our guest here in our makeshift booth behind the plate with about 47 or 48 of our closest friends who call themselves professional scouts.
Well, Ed, as we get back into the Mainland lineup, we were talking about this game. Everyone wanted a pitcher's duel. You being a hitting guy, you were hoping to see some electricity out of the bats, and it looks like the Mustangs and some of the guys from the BPC came up big.
Yeah, I mean, the game plan for these guys was, get ready to swing. You're facing 2 good arms that like to fill it up, and they got pretty good fastballs. They're going to throw that. So, step in ready to go from pitch 1, and, really happy to see those guys get in there and get after it.
Jay Shurtell in his second inning of relief here to start the sixth inning, and look who's at the plate. Chase Petty.
2 for 3, Chase Petty.
And 9 strikeouts on the mound, and hit 100 about 4 times is what I think we were told, and that first pitch from Shurtell is up high.
So we're here in the top of the 6th. If you're Mainland, Ed, what is the strategy?
I mean, Shurtell, usually the guy that fills it up. I mean, I'm hacking.
Yeah.
I'm not taking pitches, man. He's a guy that you don't really want to fall behind to. He's got a good breaking ball. He can locate pretty well, so I'm getting in ready to go. I think that should be the strategy. And they got some good hitters on this team, so why go up there to do anything else?
It's a 3-0 count on Petty with that pitch up high.
Yeah, in the 7-inning affair.
I just want to go back to my thought before when we came out of the break about all the scouts. I mean, you know these kids better than anybody yet. Is that distracting at all?
I mean, as a high school player, it's definitely something that you're not used to.
Let me share something with you. All right. Now this is what Chase Petty is looking at.
That's not
as he throws
something
a
that
pitch.
he's not used to.
I understand that, but also, if that's something that Chase is looking at, the other 8 are looking, or 7 are looking at the same thing. And, you wonder, is that like a little lump in their throat or something? As Levin pops one out the right and it's dropped.
Oh, man. That right.
Everybody's going to be safe.
Jeez, that is a tough one there. A little bit of miscommunication between the fielders. Again, Shurtell, usually your right fielder, so seems like some wires were crossed out there.
Yeah, to get back to your point, I mean, if you're a guy that's not, used to this atmosphere and seeing all the scouts back here, it can definitely rattle you a bit. But you just try not to pay attention to it. As a hitter, you just want to be looking out in the field and, being locked in on what you got to do. If you're worried about what's going on back here, you're in trouble.
You followed Josh Friedman, who did our 4th inning here for a little bit, and he said some 40, 45 scouts, and I said to him, there's only 32 teams in Major League Baseball. And he's like, yeah, but it's amazing. And this is great to see. I mean, look at the crowd along the left field line, too, 3 and 4 deep.
Yeah, I mean, back here behind us, there's some scouting directors, cross-checkers. There's different people from different organizations that are here this week than were here last week. So it's definitely good for these guys to be out in front of us, and some of these hitters that were able to come out and swing the bat, they're helping themselves out, to be out here in front of all these guys.
It's Cole Campbell, 3 RBIs, including a solo home run in the first and a 2-run double. 2-1, nobody out for Mainland, looking to do more damage here in the 6th.
Yeah, Cole Campbell's a kid I'm just so happy for. You want to talk about someone that gets hit with a big-time expectation, responsibility, a lot of added pressure, and to see him flourish, especially this early on in the season, and take advantage of opportunity when these scouts and these college coaches are around, I think it's fantastic and something a lot of kids out there can learn from.
Yeah, Cole is a guy who he works extremely hard. He cares a lot about his teammates. It was, like I said, all offseason, him being in the facility, getting into catch chase, just getting ready for this. Because, you don't want to be out here in front of all these people clanking balls around, especially with a guy like Chase on the mound who's got a lot to pitch for.
Do you work with Dave Hageman at all?
Dave comes in the facility, yeah.
Yep. Evaluate his performance today.
I mean, Dave was decent. I think, the first inning, you take that first inning away with them, hitting 2 home runs. It's a different game. It's a way different game. That's 2 swings.
Well, what's going to stick out about the performance is the way he responded.
Yeah.
He got out of the first inning and then just settled right in, went right back to business, and was able to put it behind him. And I thought he had a really good outing. Just the pitch count was up in the first inning, which is what shortened the outing.
That was a big key to the game that Doug had talked about, getting into the bullpens. And for Holy Spirit, it was real important for obvious reasons that they get into the Mainland bullpen. They did not, and then they fell behind, and now the uphill battle.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely going to be an uphill battle. It's just, we'll see if how this goes for them if they get Chase out of there. If they do, I mean, they got plenty of bat in that lineup to come back. They're never out of a game. That's one thing with them. Even watching the other day, they're playing Lower K May, who I know is not, top tier, but they were down 2. Holy Spirit was down 2-0 in the first, and it's like. Yeah. They're like, what are we doing? Like, well, dude, you guys are going to hit. You're going to score 2 runs. I mean,
throw the switch.
Yeah, they're always going to be in it. They're never out of a game.
Campbell walks, loads the bases, nobody out. Chance for a really big inning here, and Alex Ajijian into the game. Hit by pitch his last at bat. That pitch is up high. Shurtell's really in a spot here, Doug.
He is, but again, a gamer, right? Quarterback, stud athlete, had a bunch of games in line. He's totally comfortable in this spot.
Yeah, sure tell this is nothing too big for him. He's a bulldog.
Gigi and Chase that
Literally. Isn't he a UMBC bulldog now?
Well, the retrievers. But
Retrievers.
yeah,
Okay, I knew it was some kind of dog.
Go dogs.
That's a strike call. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Alex Agigi, and Clayton Sands is on deck for Mainland.
So I'd be remiss. I mean, your favorite retriever is having a pretty good season.
He's doing
Nolan
all
Charlton,
right.
the alum here at Holy Spirit.
Yeah, he's doing all right. You know, he's grinding it out. He's
Any relation by any chance?
just a little.
It's a 2-2 coming. Hold on here. And
Oh,
Gigi and
that's-
chased it. Runners coming home. The throw, the call, and he's out. Chase Petty can't believe it. He's called out at home on the wild pitch and a strikeout. And guess what? Holy Spirit gets 2 outs on that play.
Wow. You want to talk about a big time play in a big time moment, and the emotion just flowing out of Chertel on that one.
And Steve Normain, 2 out there, to fist bumps on the pitcher and the catcher as he's bringing the infield in for a visit. But, you know, if they get out of this, they got 2 more cracks at it, and 5-2, and Chase Petty's pitch count's got to be up there, right?
Well, it's getting up there, and Spirit has Chertel, Cohen, and Solari at the Solari coming up in the bottom half of this frame, right in the meat of their order.
You want to do a challenge? So that was Bob Willman that wanted a replay, and of course, only the way Bob Willman can be.
Well, we stayed away from the replay today. Actually, Ed, we're looking for a sponsor for the BFA replay, so maybe the Baseball Performance Center might be interested in that long term.
BPC replay?
Yeah.
Maybe. Sounds good. Got a ring to it.
Sands is up, and he chases that one. So now you've got second and third and 2 out. And a chance to get out of it. Chertel bounces that one. It's 1-1. Well, it could have been disaster for Holy Spirit with bases loaded, nobody out. They get a wild pitch on a strikeout and a cover at the plate. They cut down the run, and Chase Petty coming from third. And in one pitch, they got 2 outs and a 1-1 count here.
Oh.
Throwback.
Try to catch him napping.
Yeah.
Caught me napping on the switcher.
It's okay. Clayton Sands, he seems to be up in a big spot all the time.
Sands is another guy. He kind of came out on the scene. You know, I know last year was canceled, but the year before, you know, him and Mark Elliott were 2 guys from Mainland when they were kind of young. And we look at the bottom of the Mainland lineup, guys like Wood, Sharp, and Joe Sheeran. This is kind of what Sands was just 2 years ago.
That's high, and it's now 3-1. The bottom of the order is next, starting with Sam Wood, and we talked about those guys. That's Sam Wood, Luke Sharp, and Joe Sheeran making their first starts ever in their high school career. Here's a 3-1 pitch coming to Sands.
Yeah, what a game to kind of get your high school career rolling with. Yeah, this is probably the biggest it'll ever get for them. You know, that's kind of crazy to think about. The first game they're playing is this.
The 3-1 in the dirt, so Sands walks, reloads the bases for Sam Wood with 2 outs.
Welcome to the show.
2 strikeouts and a walk his last at bat. Chases that one. Wind picking up a little bit, but beautiful day too. And you know what? I was hoping for that for so many reasons because, you know, you got the scouts coming, and it could affect them. I mean, weather could affect anything that they saw. So it was good to see that Chase got the hit 100 a couple times, and weather wasn't a factor.
Conditions are definitely right today for some good baseball, for a good game. Get a lot of people out here. I mean, you knew there was going to be a ton of people coming out to watch, and the weather, you know.
Called strike 3, inning over, threat over.
Oh, this one's getting interesting, boys.
Bases loaded, nobody out. Chertel gets out of it. Gone to the bottom of the 6th for Holy Spirit. 5-2 Mainland on BFA. Bottom of the 6th, and Holy Spirit, they got out of a big jam in the top of the 6th. Bases loaded, nobody out, but Jay Shurtell gets out of it with a strikeout wild pitch, and then after reloading the bases, strikes out Sam Wood. So we're going to the bottom of the 6th, and that is Chase Petty in his 6th inning of work. He only has 67 pitches. Doug, we talked about that pitch count, how important it is for Holy Spirit to get into the bullpen as you look at Shurtell. And did he go with that one? He did.
How did he? Well, I guess I'll keep that to myself. That's left-handed swing, and you appeal down the first base side. You don't see that every day.
Yeah, but if you see that bat go across the plate like I just saw it, I would have called it from back here. Strike one on Shurtell. But anyway, 67, now 68 pitches for Chase Petty. And 69.
Well, at this point,
they're not in the bullpen.
The thought process of trying to work through the bullpen is out the window. Petty's here for the rest of the game, so now you man up, you choke up if you have to, go old school, and you muscle your way onto the bases and try to create chaos once you get there.
Yeah, they got to definitely make something happen here.
0-2 to Shurtell is right down the middle, and that's 10 strikeouts for Chase to lead off the 6th inning. Trevor Cohen is up next. He's got a run scored today. He scored one of the 2 Spartan runs in the first, and it looked like a good response for Holy Spirit, Ed. It looked like there was going to be, back and forth in this one, but, give Chase credit. He settled down, and he has been lights out.
Yeah, wait till this. You kind of expected this out of Chase. Come out, in front of all these people, come out fired up, Holy Spirit come out fired up, but he is who he is. He's going to settle in and do what he does.
Pitch 71 is down low, and it's a ball and a strike.
My quote to my partner, Chris Losey, in the first inning was, when Petty comes out in the second, the ice is going to start pumping through his veins. And it did, almost on cue.
Actually, the count is 2-0.
Not much rattles him.
That last pitch was 92 miles an hour. Here's the 2-0. Misses. 3-0.
I got a feeling Cohen's going to be a future attorney. His approach to everything, man, I just love it, dude. He just got this swagger to him, and he's always trying to, win the battle, win the argument.
3-0 pitch. And Cohen walks. You had him graduate from the debate team right to being in the law.
I'm telling you.
Oh, boy. Cohen just threw his
There's a flavorish
arm guard or leg guard. You see that, Ed?
Got caught up in the wind like a kite.
That hits Bob Willman. I'm telling you right now, he dumps him.
Hung up.
Huh?
It hung up there in the wind.
One out and a runner on for Holy Spirit. And it brings up the left fielder, Shane Solar. As the wind kicks up, Chase Petty, 6th inning of work, 10 strikeouts. Good as advertised. Now that is a nasty 12-6 right there.
Yeah, this, seeing this Holy Spirit lineup and the Mainland lineup, and these guys keep battling. It is like a backyard brawl. It has a flavor of you expect them to have wiffle ball bats taped up with tennis balls. These guys know each other so good.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun game to watch. For us especially, it's just to be seeing all these guys for the last couple of years, especially this last year being locked away. Get out here and get after each other.
Well, with this much anticipated pitchers duel, we'd be remiss if we didn't at least mention your partner Mike Adams, who's down in Clearwater.
Yeah.
Say Clearwater.
Clearwater.
0-2 outside.
Yeah, Mike's down there. He's doing well. Facing hitters. I think he pitches again on Sunday.
Yeah, what an awesome story that continues to develop. I always joke around with you guys.
Oh, they've got him. Cohen is going to get picked off. Petty gets a pickoff, and that is the second out, and it erases the runner that Holy Spirit had.
It's not what you're looking for down 3.
Not exactly. But going back to Mike Adams, I joke around with you guys and kind of refer to you as senseis, practicing what you preach. And you guys kind of have this group of Cobra Kais that continue to, run up the game. And they bring out the competitive nature, not just in each other, but in you guys. So, to see Mike, what he did, and to grab the attention of the scouts in his own right, pretty awesome stuff.
Strikeout number 11. It ends the inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left. We're going to the 7th. Our thanks to Ed Charlton. 5-2 Mainland here on BFA. Seventh inning baseball here in Absecon. Holy Spirit High School. Our site, Chris Losey and Doug Stasic and the BFA Sports crew here for our matchup between Mainland and Holy Spirit. Started out good, 3-2 after one. It is now 5-2, and Chase Petty cruising with 77 pitches, 11 strikeouts, and 1 pickoff. And in the seventh inning, and 5-2 lead. This is Luke Sharp. 2 hop to second. Egri with the play, 1 down. And that will bring up Joe Sheeran in the bottom of the order for Mainland. You good now?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Sheeran, again, got a single, 1 for 3. And again, his debut in a big-time spot.
First pitch fouled away.
So you talk about generational baseball. His grandfather, John, also same name as his dad, was one of my first baseball coaches, like going all the way back to Little League. We were the Angels back then in Galloway Township, 9-year-old.
Oh, okay.
But there is a lot of love for the game in this family, a lot of fundamental training. So this is a special moment with Grandma and Grandpa here checking out his debut. I didn't see Dad, so I'm not sure if he's working. He's a member of the New Jersey State Police.
0-2, 1 out. Sertel in his third inning of work.
Oh, there's a
Sheehan
poke.
sends one to center field. Easy play for Cohen. That's the second out of the inning. Trevor Cohen, there's a look at him, and you got a lot to say about him and his debating skills, and you know, I like it.
He's a baller, man. Absolute baller.
You know what I like? And then the players come up to you after, you know, when they get a chance, they go, Blue, sorry about that. And I say, hey, listen, you're just fighting. I'm cool with that. You know, you don't keep it personal. It's all done. That's fine.
Right.
Top of the order for Mark Elliott. 2 outs and nobody on here in the seventh. 5-2 lead for the Mustangs. Their first game of the season. This is their opening day, and Holy Spirit with a 1-0 record, defeating. I just bought this tongue. I'm sorry about that. Defeating Middle Township. Elliott with a base hit in the right field keeps the inning alive, and Chase Petty will get another at bat. And look at Elliott going for 2.
Oh, trouble there with the exchange. Good heads up base run, and a hard 90 turned it into a better 180. It looks like opportunity to get a teammate in, and that's number 10 checking in for the Mustangs, Noah Myers, the runner.
So Myers will run for Elliott at second. And Petty now batting with a runner in scoring position. 5-2, 2 outs in the top of the seventh. Petty with a big cut, and he got some oohs and ahs from the scouts behind us.
The healthy hack.
And most of them are still there too, Doug.
Yeah.
Behind us.
Well,
0-1 pitch in the dirt. Go ahead.
He's still in the game as far as the pitching goes. You know, he's been doing very efficient from his delivery standpoint. So as long as he's still in the game, these guys aren't leaving.
1-1. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. I thought I heard a little foul there. Did you hear a foul there?
Possibly.
Yeah, okay. I'll go with that.
So is it fair to say that Petty's making a case to be a National League pitcher? Although the DH is coming, right?
Oh, no, they don't know what they're doing. Inside 2-2. I don't think so. Is that still debated, or has that been decided?
That's happening. This is the last year for the pitchers to be hitting.
Unbelievable. 2-2. And Petty strikes out to end the threat. No runs for Mainland. Last chance for the Spartans coming up in the bottom of the seventh. 5-2 Mainland here on BFA. Sorry, what'd I miss? Welcome back. Here we are in the bottom of the 7th. The last chance for the Spartans, trailing 5-2, and they're facing Chase Petty, who has 77 pitches, 11 strikeouts, and even picked off a batter, Doug. And it will be shortstop Stephen Petrosh, Ryan Spina, and Ethan Corsi due up here for the Spartans. Petty's first delivery bounces up. 1 ball and no strikes. Good observation that you made about the you can forget about getting into the bullpen, so now you're going to have to scratch out base runners first.
Yeah, you just got to fight your way on. And, Stephen Petrosh is a guy that can open things up.
That's down low, 2-0.
He's done it time and again.
93 on that fastball.
Just hoping not to get on the way he did in his last at-bat, hit by the pitch.
That was close to the zone, but unfortunately Cole Campbell couldn't handle it. And now it's 3-0. Yep, they're still there. Including one of my favorite all-time scouts, Wilmer Reed, behind us. Bounced around like a yo-yo, Pirates, Yankees, Orioles, and now he's with the Phillies.
Wilmer is a legend.
3-0 right down the middle. 3-1 to Petrosh. And that fastball in the 7th inning, 94. Chop to third. Wood makes the play. 1 down here in the 7th. That'll bring up Ryan Spina. A couple strikeouts today. Something we haven't heard in a while. Walk up.
Yeah, well, they need to go to Funky Town right now. They got to get something going that's funky.
When's our next broadcast, by the way?
Our next broadcast will be Friday at 4:30. It'll be Ocean City versus Bishop Eustis in the Coaches versus Cancer Classic. That's game number 1. That'll be at the Summers Point Babe Ruth Field. And as Josh Friedman gave us some insight into who the probables would be, sounds like it's Ocean City's Gannon Brady, and the debut for the season with Bishop Eustis, Anthony Salamito.
Petty dropped a nice slider on that one. 0-2. Just missed low. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, 7th inning. Last chance for the Spartans here. Here comes the 1-2. Called strike 3, strikeout number 12 for Chase Petty. And the Spartans are down to their final out. And it'll be Ethan Corsi. Two strikeouts for Corsi, and they were both looking. Makes contact with that and dribbles it foul, 1 strike. That fastball, Doug, 97 miles an hour.
In the 7th inning.
In the 7th inning at 83 pitches.
As advertised.
1 strike pitch. Slider, and Corsi missed it. 0-2, the Spartans down to their final strike. 0-2. Corsi strikes out. Petty does it again. 13 Ks. He goes the distance. And Mainland wins their opener. They beat Holy Spirit 5-2, the final score here. What a pitching performance. All the scouts here that came, they were certainly not disappointed.
How could they be? Chase Petty, final line, 13 strikeouts, 1 hit, and just 3 walks. And my, oh my.
And he picked off a runner, too.
And he did. Not to mention that he added offensively, contributed with scoring a run, a single, stolen, actually 2 singles, a stolen base. Listen, the kid, again, Very happy for him, happy as could be. And that is what we expected.
5-2 the final. We'll come back with our player of the game. That's us. And so stay tuned. We'll probably hope we can get Chase Petty.
A lot of media circulating around him today.
Yeah, I know, but we'll see what we can do. We'll come back with our player of the game, and we'll also talk to Coach Billy Kern. Final again, 5-2, Mainland over Holy Spirit on BFA. Back with our post game right after this. And welcome back, everybody. As you can see, we're joined here in our makeshift broadcast studio here behind the plate. Final score again, Mainland wins 5-2. Players of the game for Mainland, this guy, Cole Campbell, catcher. Big day at the plate.
Big time.
And we could talk about this guy. He did a little bit on the mound as
He did
well.
all right.
How about your offense? Let's talk about your offense, though. Chase Petty.
I mean, we hit. That was the biggest outlier for us today. I mean, we came in being the underdogs here, and our offense showed up. That was the biggest thing for us. I mean, our offense showed up. You know, this guy went deep off the school. Brody Levin going deep too in the first inning. I mean, we came in, we competed. We came out firing with our best. That was a big outlier for us.
Well, it was big time, man. I don't know if you know what the final totals were, but with 13 strikeouts, 1 hit, and only 3 walks.
Yeah.
But, you know, Chase, we talked about this a lot, and you give a ton of credit to Cole. Cole's kind of a new guy, right?
Yeah,
Cole's
he
coming on
is.
the scene. A lot of pressure on this guy because as much pressure as you have, this guy helps make you look pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, me and him worked together all off season. We both put in the work, and it paid off. I mean, me and him have a great chemistry now. We really understand each other very well, and I mean that was the biggest thing for us this off season was really getting together and figuring it out our relationship, and that was a big thing for us.
Doug said a lot during the broadcast how you guys are all, you know each other. I'm talking about the guys on this team, and I saw it at the end that you were embracing the other guys. What does that do? I mean, first of all, you know these kids.
Yeah.
They know you.
Yeah.
So it's nothing that you have that they haven't seen. Did that change your mindset a little bit?
No, not really. I mean, we're all great friends off the field, but when I'm on the field, I mean, I don't really have any friends besides my teammates. I'm out there, and I'm out there to kill the other team. I mean, that's kind of just how it is. I mean, I go out there and I just compete, and I play for my team. I mean, I could be closer with someone else on the other team, but my teammates are my brothers. I mean, on the field, I mean, we're all together. We're here together, and whoever's in the other team, we're out there to go kill them, and that's really what it is. No matter who you are.
A guy, Cole, that you killed was Dave Hageman in that first shot. So talk to us about that big swing, man.
I was sitting fastball early. He threw me a first pitch slider. I saw it out, and I was on his fastball. He threw me one, fouled it off. I knew it was coming again. I just sat on it and did what I did to it.
So how much ice do you put on your hands when you're catching 102?
It gets bad. He swells me. Like, my hand right now is like double the size of the other one. Every night I'm like, try to ice it. It's like, you can see the bruise that stays after.
Well, I guess the good news is, man, a little bit extra padding in the glove and maybe an extra mitt by the time half the season goes by.
Cole, you had some little difficulty with Bob Willman, the home plate umpire. Now, you don't have to divulge anything what he said, but, I mean, do you think, especially at this level, that it's going to be difficult for umpires to actually stay with his stuff?
Oh, definitely. I mean, the fastball's hard enough to see, but the slider, when it breaks that much, it's just so hard for umpires to see where it's crossing the plate at. So it's almost impossible for him to see it.
Yeah.
Well, it's we're looking forward to seeing more of you guys starting in the Coaches versus Cancer Classic hosted by Mainland this
it's
weekend.
Gonna be fun.
So we'll see you guys this weekend.
That's
and we
gonna
know
be a lot of fun.
There's a couple other guys that have a lot of pads of paper they want to still talk to you guys. So we
but we
appreciate
got
your
him
time.
first. We got you first. So thanks a lot.
All right, man.
Chase
Chase
Petty,
Petty,
Cole Campbell.
Thank you.
Players of the game here on BFA's opening day of high school baseball. Mainland a winner. Hoop it up. They beat Holy Spirit 5-2. We'll come back and wrap it up right here on BFA. And welcome back, everybody. So our final score 5-2. We had a great opportunity to talk to the players of the game before the writers, Chase Petty and Cole Campbell, and Billy Kern, the consummate professional, said talk to the kids, and I think that's very nice.
Well, and listen, Chase Petty, this is one of those games I remember when he was just a tyke out there in Millville. This one had a little league rivalry flair. Everybody knows each other. You work out with each other. You go to school. You battle it out, the crosstown rivalry, because these are the guys that they see too many times during the winter, too many times during the week. This was a fun one, and guess what? We have the rematch that's coming up. It'll be at Birch Grove Park, 7 p.m. under the lights. Don't know the date off the top of my head, but we will certainly be there. But more importantly, Chris, a big weekend coming up.
Absolutely. I mean, we've got the Coaches versus Cancer baseball tournament. They're going to be right here. They start Friday night, right? So we've got doubles or triples on the weekend.
Friday we have 4:30 and 7:30. Saturday and Sunday 4 games, so quads.
Quads. Okay.
Yes, so those are all at Mainland High School Saturday and Sunday. Friday night is over at Summers Point.
And then after that, we also have the Thank You Classic, and we have some college baseball as well this weekend. So stay tuned to BFA Sports and the live channel on YouTube for all the action we're bringing you of baseball this spring and summer, and I know that puts a smile on your face.
Hey, man, let's bring it.
All right, so today's game was produced and directed by Ryan Schumacher, who was off the camera, unfortunately. We had a awesome 3-camera setup. Who'd you have on camera today?
So we had Charles Hope out in center field. We had Nick Penza at first, the pride of ACIT, and a celebrity, and Josh Hood, who was over there at third base. So PBR 2018 Player of the Year. So we appreciate everybody tuning in.
The executive producers of BFA Sports are Al Fisher, Brian Murray, and this guy, Doug Stasic. So this is Chris Losey with Doug the Man and our brand new wardrobe. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. A big ball game. Mainland a winner 5-2 over Holy Spirit. High school baseball on BFA continues on Friday. Have a good afternoon, everybody.